Honk.
Hello, 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 lovely folks and people of the internets. What's going on, Arvanauts? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to a Tuesday, and thank you for all the resubs from everybody as well. Oh, my goodness, 3 years. Okay, so first of all, let me do this in order. Thank you to Emily for the resub. 32 months. 32 months of support, closing in on 3 years. Thank you so much. Thank you, Emily. Thank you to Mrs. Dunsel for the 52 months of support, which means that we're talking 4 years and 4 months, if I've got my math correct. So welcome, and thank you again, Mrs. Dunsel, for the resub. And thank you to Triffid for the 3 years of support, which has been hit today. 3 years of support. And I'm very pleased and blessed to have all of those people and many more within my channel. So thank you, everybody, for the resubs. I appreciate it. And welcome, everyone, to a Tuesday stream. It is Tuesday, March 14th. It is going to be tomorrow, which is the mid of March. Tomorrow is the middle of March already, which is kind of hard to imagine. But so we are in a kind of weird time spot here situation because this, I have to say, this whole condition is just a strange. It is Pi Day, yes. Happy Pi Day, Happy Pi Day. That's also important. It's been a really weird last week, y'all. It's been a weird last week, so I feel just in general a little odd about things, and I'll explain why as we'll talk about in just a moment. But it's going to, what I was trying to say was tomorrow is mid-March. My point was tomorrow is actually the middle of March. That was what I was attempting to get to, Arudnell, but unfortunately, I got caught up in the middle of it. Again, part of the reason for this is that I'm staring down at my currently malfunctioning Stream Deck. It's not malfunctioning, it's just that the latest software update has screwed up the fonts on everything, so everything does not look the way it's supposed to look. So it's just that the words are not, the words are there, but they're literally like off center in the squares. And I have no idea why, but they're just like, here, how about this? Also, we've added some new icons. I'm like, okay, these are icons that required you to also change my fonts on these things. Anyway, it's been quite a day. But I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome, everybody. And yes, apologies as well for the sort of strange scheduling vis-a-vis what we're supposed to be doing with their Shire Adventures today. But we have had to cancel that for today because of player internet issues, which again is perfectly in line with all of what is, as I say, has been a very weird, not very super great last week. Because of just a variety of factors. And I'll cover those quickly. But before I do that, I do want to welcome everyone in and let you know about ways to support the channel. If you haven't done so, please make sure to follow the channel. That is always appreciated. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to check out my YouTube channel. That is !ArvTube, which is anyone who can subscribe to me over there. I appreciate that very much. We have seen the sub numbers go up, and it allows you to check out past broadcasts of this and other streams. !ArvCord is the Discord channel where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. !ArvTweets is the Twitter, where you can follow me, and I will post about when I go live and about other such things, so long as that hell site exists. And of course, the website for this is arvaneleron.com. Financially, we have got, thank you for the follow, Uber Jaeger 67. We have got, if you haven't already done so, please consider supporting the channel on the financial side by checking out the merchandise area. Triffid and I have already begun some discussions on the reconstruction of that. That is hopefully going to be done by the end of the month. That's the plan, to have a new merchandise site up and functional. And I want to have a new set of designs that I'm going to be putting up there as well. For example, I want to get a new Shire Adventures related shirt up there. I definitely want to be able to have, if possible, a new Eberron shirt with, the best bad idea we've ever had, as people who have been following that campaign know about that. So I want to be able to do that, and so on. So we are working on getting a new web store up and functional. And when that's is up and functional, then we'll replace the one that we've got there now. But in the meantime, you can still get some swag for yourself before the old site closes down, the old store site, and the new store site opens up. And so you can do that with exclamation point Arv Shop. Patreon is exclamation point Arv Treon as always. And that, of course, is where you can support the channel, which is the kind of financial backbone of the channel is the Patreon. And you can get good stuff for yourself and good stuff for the channel over there. And also get inspirations to help our players. You can also get inspirations by doing what so many of you have done today, and that is to sub to the channel, either sub or resub to the channel, and you can get inspirations to help our players. Plus, of course, emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch to show your love and loyalty for this channel, for which, again, we are most appreciative. On the publishing side, exclamation point Icarus for my graphic novel from Athos Arts, exclamation point Library for my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, my 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment, and exclamation point Greyshade, where you can get a copy of my novel Greyshade from the amazing Athos Arts, and pre-order copies of the 2 sequels, Renegade, which will be out later this year, Heretic, which will be out next year, also the Greyshade tabletop role-playing game by Brandon O'Brien, which will be out later this year, and of course the audiobook by one Mr. Trent Sparks, which will be out later this year as well. So all of those are options that are available over at the Greyshade link, so please consider doing that. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, very important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, to help the people of Ukraine as they continue to fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And this is a way for us to send a message not just about them, but about others in the future who might face similar such situations. Now, let's talk a little bit about today's schedule and about the last couple of days. I'm not going to spend long on this because I do want to actually get into playing a game, which is, all that stuff. But one second there. I'm having to do everything. Hi, everybody. I'm having to do everything right now using OBS directly because, as I say, my Stream Deck, the buttons, I think, still actually do what they're supposed to, more or less. But because the font and the lettering is all off, it means that I'm like, trying to guess. And there are certain ones where I actually have, one of the cool things about the Stream Deck is that you can actually coordinate it or customize it, I should say, to be able to put pictures of the particular, let's say, game that you're playing right in the area. So if I was like, oh yeah, how do I start my sorcery game, I could obviously put a picture and the button would be there and I don't need words. But when it's things like, outro scroll or Patreon status, which activates that, or even the camera. Now it's off, now it's on, right? All that sort of thing. I know where they are because I just looked to find them, but the words are all off. So it's been a day, which, by the way, is the theme of everything. The last week has sucked. I won't deny it. It has been not fun. And it's just been a series. Nothing in particular has been awful. It's just been a series of obnoxious, things that break down, driving into work on Thursday. I'm on the road and I have to administer a midterm exam, right? I'm on my Blazing camera is still working. It is. Although when I was sitting down, because I hadn't been up here since literally, I guess it was Tuesday, last Tuesday. I hadn't been up here to stream since then because I don't stream again right until Friday. And I really kind of was just pretty much confined to the bedroom from Thursday all the way through Sunday afternoon when I finally was feeling, better enough to be up and about. So when I got up here to sort of sit down, of course, as I'm getting the mic and everything, I'm moving a couple things around and whoops. So I jar the camera stand, which means now everything is nothing got broken, nothing's destroyed, nothing's awful. It's just blah. And I am feeling much better. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Dunsel. I still have a lingering cough, but otherwise I am feeling much, much better. No fever or anything like that. So thank you. Yeah, I know, exactly, right? April 1st will work. That's the joke. Oh, my God. That's actually both funny and deeply troubling, Arud. No, that's probably true. So anyway, yeah, just like a bunch of crap. The Funny Guys of Fire. The Funny Guys of Fire did not win that Ninja versus Ninja competition, Hillness. And that was, let me tell you what, that was frustrating. Oh man, that was so funny. What Hillness is referring to, for those of you who didn't see this on my Twitter, my son was trying to entertain me when I was convalescing. This is especially on Saturday. And so he has this whole he loves Ninja Warrior stuff. Um, and I mean by that the athletic competition Ninja Warrior, like obstacle course parkour type stuff. So he was watching people on TV doing this too. He loves watching, like different competitions of that kind of thing. So he runs them for his own like action figures and stuffed animals and stuff. So he was like, Daddy, which team do you want to win? I'm like, okay, this is like the fifth time he's asked me, like multiple different team iterations. Okay, it was quite an epic Saturday. And he's like, all right, Daddy, which team do you want to win? Do you want it to be the green octopuses? And I'm like, okay. Or he's like, or the funny guys of fire. And like, he literally pauses that long, and I'm like, I mean, that's obviously right. Obviously, the funny guys of fire is who I'm going to support. The funny guys did not, however, of fire did not beat the green octopuses. And to be noted, not octopi. You might say to yourself, but isn't that grammatically correct? Yes, it is grammatically correct, but it was important to note that it was not octopi. That's a whole, the more grammatical they are, the less, I guess, powerful or something like that they become. It's something like that. I don't know. But anyway, it was pretty funny. They are water based and very stoic. Yes, that's right. They were like, they had the Zen, probably kind of flair. Octopi on Pi Day. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Octopi would have been perfect for this. Anyway, so yeah, so just miserable stuff. So for example, getting late to school on Thursday. Why do I get late to school on Thursday? Because when I leave, I am told that I'm going to be arriving 20 minutes ahead of time, which is really important that I arrive 20 minutes ahead of time because I had an exam I was giving. And then I get onto the highway, and literally on the highway, 10 minutes out, the map, like Google Maps, snaps from 20 minutes ahead of time to 25 minutes late. And I'm like, what? And the reason is because there was a 3-car pileup on the highway that I travel down that had literally happened when I got on the highway 10 minutes ahead of where I was. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't possibly be like, well, and again, this was me leaving way ahead of time, right? So I was just like, now, and as it turned out, I ended up having to reschedule that exam, which I then gave appropriately and everything on Monday. Now, again, it's not like the end of the world or whatever, but it was that. And I was already starting to feel not so hot, even when I was, as I was going through all that, but I just figured it was because I was really angry and stressed and whatever about that. But then I get home and I'm feeling really like, it took me a while to get home after work, after my last class on Thursday, because I was feeling really like not great. And I'm like, I think I'm coming down with something and I better just get some rest. And sure enough, then like fever, and it was the flu. It must have been the flu. I had no real like congestion or anything like that. Maybe a little bit, but very minor. No real stomach issues or anything other than like zero appetite. But fever, which hit at 1.103.3. Fever and definite aches and pains, definite chills, headache, and classic like flu stuff. And also I tested twice for COVID, both negative. So I was down for the count all weekend. I'm like, great, that's wonderful. And as you all know, Friday couldn't do it. And then Saturday, it wasn't just me. I might have been able to pull myself up here to stream. Although, honestly, DMing when you're feeling that under the weather is not hot. So it was bad. So I did all of that. And then all of what, it just sucked. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Uber Jaeger. Wow. So wait, you just follow the channel and you're like, you know what I want? The content that I want in my streamer is a guy who sits there and it complains at me for the next 30 minutes. Let me tell you, we actually do play games on this channel. I really appreciate it. I'm leaving you hang. Oh, I'm sorry. Hug. Yes, Emily. Absolutely. Hug. Yes. I apologize. You've always followed my YouTube channel. Yes, and actually, now that I see that name again, now that I see the name on screen on chat, you're right, you have. Well, thank you very much for subscribing. And yes, I promise I don't spend most of my time being, mad about this situation. It's a 6-month sub. Oh, because it doesn't show me that on Chatty. It's a 6-month sub. Thank you. Thank you, seriously, Uber Yeager. Yes, I do recognize that name, and you have been following my YouTube channel, and I appreciate that. And I want to explain the Middle Earth thing too. I was supposed to be doing Shire Adventures today, and so I won't go through the whole litany of it. There's just variety of different things that are like on all different factors. There are a couple of bright spots. There was one very bright professional spot that I'm not at liberty to talk about yet, but it has to do with a manuscript that has gotten some very serious attention. So again, I can't talk about it, and it's knock on wood, and there's nothing guaranteed yet, but it feels very promising, so knock on wood. And I was able to do some work there that was important. And it also meant then that when all of that was done and I got out of Monday, I'll hug. Okay, I'll hug. I'll hug everyone else. All right, I'm hugging I can't quite. There's too much of all of you, the love and the respect and the care and the compassion and the empathy to hug everybody, but hug. Okay. Woo. Thank you very much for the hug. I seriously, thank you very, very much. And you're just beginning Erebor Adventures. Nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. The Valar were not in harmony for tonight's LOTR session. Anyway, when one ring TOR2E, nice. Yeah, I mean, so I'll come to Shire Adventures in just a moment. So anyway, so all that stuff. So there've been some very positive, like bright spots in there. And of course, my family's great and, and all that. And I'm really genuinely blessed to have good friends who cared about me. Thank you also, both to folks that I know quite well, people like Emily and others who have reached out to me, and I really do appreciate that, even when I know Emily was dealing with a Ghostbusters all weekend, for example, so I'm very appreciative of that. I was also thankful to those people who just reached out, either via YouTube or on my Discord to be like, hey, how you doing? Thank you. I seriously, I really, really do genuinely appreciate that concern and kindness and all that. So thank you very much. That does mean a lot to me. And on Sunday, I started feeling better. Saturday night was still kind of I was still feeling pretty crappy, but Sunday morning I was feeling better and starting to feel better. And then Sunday afternoon, my fever was gone. And everything just basically besides the cough was gone. But I felt then really kind of disoriented for the rest of Sunday, both because daylight savings, so I also lose an hour of sleep. Tremendous timing there. But also, hey, what's up, Drew? Subscribe for 56 months. Thank you. Drew is one of the people who reached out to me. Thank you, Drew. I know. Oh, Triffid, I do really, no, you were, and I really do appreciate you reaching out in the way you did about the thing we discussed. But what happened was then, I'm sort of disoriented because I'm still like, okay, I'm out of my bedroom now for the first time in 3 days. And I'm now, okay, what's going on in the world, right? So I just felt a little weird. And then, of course, the fact that we had daylight savings, so I lost an hour of sleep too. Monday was feeling much better. I was able to teach classes fine and everything else. Still felt a little, not 100% all there, maybe totally, I guess, but pretty much okay. And today I'm totally fine as far as being like right back where I should be. But the problem was, so then I'm like, okay, I got home last night and I'm like, I really need to make sure that I get rest because I had to drive, get to work, teach the class, give the midterm, blah, 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 do all that stuff. That was all fine. I had my office hours. I, was able to catch up with some things I had to do, at my office at school, came back, got some rest Monday. Tuesday morning, I open up and my email box and Discord are just like, please help with the like, this flood of like tasks and can you please, and from like all different things. I'm talking about like, home stuff, like, what about this? Hey, this couple things from colleagues at work. One thing, and I'm like, so I've been spending a lot of time trying to catch up from all of that. And after I'm done streaming today and I have some dinner, I'm going to be doing more such stuff. So it has been not a great experience, okay, over the last few days, with the notable exception of the professional thing that I mentioned and with such lovely friends who have reached out to help. So that has been great. But a lot of the other stuff has just been like, no, it's not just from you. Nope. If it was just from you, I wouldn't be bringing this up as a joke. I'm bringing it up as a joke because it was from a lot more than you. Yeah, it was all kinds of things. But and it's all going to start getting cleared out, and it's all getting taken under. It's we're lowering the pile. But the point is, it was just one of those things. And honestly, that doesn't normally happen if I'm away for like 3-4 days. It's not like I show up and I have like 5,000 messages waiting. It wasn't like that, that bad. But for whatever reason, a lot of things all came through at once for a variety of different reasons. So it was one of those things where it was just like, um, yeah, no, I know. They weren't. Most of it wasn't stuff like, "Oh my God, are you sick?" It was mostly just stuff like, "Hey, can you help with this, or this, or can you do this or do the other thing?" And none of it is too much on its own, right? Like none of it is unreasonable. None of it is like, "Oh, go do this because of the following with the other thing." None of it's like that. It's just, and of course, all of that, by the way, whilst I now have all the midterms and short stories for my creative writing students to grade, which came in on Monday. So it's but listen, all of that's fine. The reason, and then the last thing is Shire Adventures. So then today I'm like, all right, all set to go. I go to get ready for, I do Chained Echoes, I do Pen and Pixels, GOG.com first, which is what we do for Shire Adventures. And then I get the note from someone, one of my players has got major internet issues. That's like, and not just her, but like a whole big region of where she is just sort of broken down. And I'm like, and so can't do it. And I'm like, I was just like Zen mindfulness, just like, but, and of course is very apologetic and feels really bad and really wanted to play. And the thing is, I could still theoretically go ahead with 3, but this is coming into the part of the conspiracy most cracked of Shire Adventures, where they're about to go into the Matham house to get the item for Bilbo, and they've got to figure out if they want to do it with stealth or if they're just going to try to kick down the front door or do the equivalent of it. What about dealing with the dog? All of these things are things that the party has to consider. And so we're going to be playing next week anyway, again at 5:00. And everyone is sworn that no matter what, even if they have to run the internet themselves, they will be there under all circumstances. So I decided that we would switch things around. But it was just yet another example of one of those, like, I can't. What is even life? So it has been quite a few days, quite, and then a few days, over the last couple of days, dealing with all of this nonsense, but it is great. No, but that again, I really please do not, when I bring this up, immediately be like, was it me? I was the one that Arv is referring to me. I was directly, listen, to be clear, when I look into the camera and I'm looking at you, I am looking at every one of you. And many of you that I'm not looking at are the ones that I'm actually referring to, unless you happen to be my student. No, this was actually not mostly related to student stuff. It was other things. But it was just like, it was really funny. Yeah, clearly you don't mean me. It was really Hillness, okay? It was Hillness who sent me 500 separate messages. No, it was really all that. It was totally that, Uber Jaeger. Oh my God. It was just one of those things where I'm just like, I can't even, but that's why I'm wearing today, chat, my shirt. I want y'all to see, this is my shirt I pull out only for these occasions. What do we say to the god of death? We say critical hit, not today. That's what we say to the god of death. Okay. So that's why in that spirit of today is why we're here playing some sorcery. We all broke to do. What's up, Div? How you doing, man? Hi, it's me. Yeah, exactly. Clearly you don't mean me. It's me. As I said, it was many people. And many people who are not just people. I don't know, are you my like water company? Maybe you're responsible. I don't know. Maybe Divinorium, who's always pretended to be from another country, maybe Divinorium runs my water utility company, and my time in New York was all a long play. His interest was all a long play to get me to the point that I'd move to Connecticut, and then he would have me where he wanted me. Maybe that's the case. Oh, Rudenell. So it was very funny. I really see. It's me, Mario. Yeah. So anyway, it's been quite a week. And I am very excited now. to get onto some actual play. So we are going to be doing some playing. I'm going to be with you folks for a couple of hours. I do want to say that probably around 8:15 is where I'm planning to wrap up. Probably. I reserve the right to change my mind, okay? But I'm thinking that, and I might go a little later if I want to. But I'm guessing around 8:15 because I'm going to want to make sure that I get dinner. And then, as I did say, I want to make sure that I get back to catching up with stuff that I need to catch up with. One other quick programming note, I did already adjust this on the calendar, but our vocalists, also because of various things with scheduling issues because the last week, but have also been rescheduled as well to next Tuesday. And it looks like next Tuesday is going to be Zach Clay and Rem Alternus. KP probably will not join us again until April, and then we'll be there consistently. But KP is moving, and so is in the midst of that move, and it looks like, therefore, will not be with us, although it's not 100%, but probably won't be with us until April again. But then we'll be back and is part of the regular crew and all that stuff. So it will be Zach, Clay, and Rem Alternus next week as we continue on with more of Citizen Sleeper. And by the way, once we're done with Citizen Sleeper, I found a couple of possible things that I think are going to be really exciting down the line. But the next one that's up probably is going to be the next Apollo Justice game, which is, Phoenix Wright, like the Ace Attorney stuff. As you know, we love to do these every so often, and then we'll usually do a case or two, and then we'll put it on the back burner, and then we'll move on to some other game for a while, because they're a very strong flavor, so you don't want to do nothing but those. But they're just hilarious all the time. They're a ton of fun, and I think that the voice actors always have a ton of fun of these, so I think it'll be good for this as well. Yes. And then get some more sleep. That's true as well. I'm waiting on Lamplighter's Leak. Yeah, that's the thing too. There have been a lot of other very cool games that are on there. Did you know that there is a new Tintin Cigars of the Pharaoh game coming out from Microids? I apparently I completely blacked out during all of 2020 when this was announced, because I had no idea this was the case. And if you saw the trailer for it, I was like, what the this is awesome. I love Tintin. I have read all the Tintin books myself. My father read them to me and got me all the books. I have read them in turn to my daughter, and I have also read now about the first 6 or 7 books with my son. So I'm like 100% totally into this. So there's that. There's the new Solasta DLC, which is called the Ice Castle or Home of the Ice Castle or something, which is coming out fairly soon. There's that. There's just all kinds of really cool stuff that's on the horizon. And of course, after this game that we're playing now, we've got Jedi Survivor on the horizon too. So a lot of really cool games that we're looking forward to coming on down the line. So it's all gonna be good stuff. But man, I just last few days, can all settle in and everything's good. Oh, and I wanted to mention, so I don't know if I want to show this, and no, I don't want to move my camera around right now, but right now, living in the Northeast of America as I do, there has been a fairly big wind and rainstorm where I live. If you were to go north, I don't know how it is for you, Drew, but if you go north, I gather about an hour or so, they're getting hit with a ton of snow and stuff like that up there, snow and wind. So outside right now, it's pretty windy and rainy and cold and very sort of, I wouldn't call it ominous as much as just changes in the air. You know what I mean? Very much in that kind of, in New Milford. So it's not snowing there though, right? I'm guessing it's rain by you too. Well, fair enough, Runo. That's true. Maybe everybody should have blacked out in 2020. Yes, I will take that. That's a good point. But you know what I'm saying, Lotwook? It'd be farther north. Oh, snow, but not tons. He said 6 to 12, but much less. Yeah. See, where I am, I was right below the line. They kept showing the line, and it was dark blue. And then we were down, I think about if we went not that far north, like I say, maybe 30 minutes north of where I am, you get these bands of snow, and then it just gets more and more and more all the way up there. So snow on the ground this morning, windy and cold. You got some cold, some snow, Geester? Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Where we were, it just is mostly cold rain. and cold rain and wind. But it's felt like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of this, and I like actually windy days. And I sometimes, depending on the situation, can like rainy days, depending. But yeah, so it's just been a very much. It was weather that reflected. I felt like my mood for a while of being very much like, what is going on in my life? Over the last 4 to 5 days or something like that. But you heard Worcester got slammed. Well, also, I mean, there was a lot of snow near Baltimore. Okay. There's also a lot of snow coming down for a while, but none of it sticking because it was just too warm down here. I think it was like 37, 38 by us, something like that. So far, I have to say, knock on wood. I'm knocking on all kinds of wood. Okay. So far, in this house, we have not even had a flicker of power issues. At my house that I used to live in New York, we usually lost power once or twice a year. And you all remember from a couple of years ago, those of you who've been with me for a while will remember that during the time that I ended up doing JulyCon, that I actually had to do most of that from my wife's, thank goodness, off-house office, like an office in another building, because it was impossible, because there's no power. We literally did not have power at my house for a week during that July a couple of years ago. And even when it wasn't like that, the power was a little like kind of not just brownouts, but like just would flicker. It was a little inconsistent. Power here has been rock solid. And we've been through some pretty big storms, the aftermath of a couple of hurricanes that got up this way. Zip. I mean, we call ourselves Wind Coast Studios for a reason. No problems at all. So that's really nice. That's something you can't possibly know until you move into a place, wow, it's going to be. But no problems. Thank God. So that is one thing that we have not had to worry about. Ice storms in Worcester. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My dear friend Ewan, who sadly just passed away, went to Worcester Polytechnic. And yeah, Worcester, Mass. Woof. You want an ice storm? That would not be so good. 10 days of no power in 2019, 100-degree heat. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. We were out for like 5 days, and it was brutal. I mean, it was, yeah, that was really bad. So we've been very lucky with that here on that score. But oh my goodness, it is something. Yeah, yeah. So like I say, it's been a thing. But you know what, chat? Also, you have all been a thing. So it is a pleasure, genuinely a pleasure, to be hanging out with all of you folks today and getting a chance to play. I am pouring myself my water. So let's play some games. And specifically, let's play some Sorcery. So let's do it. Let's make this happen. Time to play. Now, for those of you who have not played before, now I have a question. Your 7-year work anniversary. Well, congratulations, Hilness. And congratulations also on the fact that every time you talk about what's going on with work, it's always, and again, I'm knocking on wood, because they're always like promoting you because clearly you're amazing at your job. So I just want to point out, congratulations on the continued work success. And I'm glad. I guess the one good news about like doing the channel, doing this stream now for us is that some of you folks who can't because it's during the day on a Tuesday, this kind of overlaps a little bit for some folks. So I guess there's that. So that's a positive thing. Okay. Yeah, true. Effect life. It's vodka. Yeah. You always hear when the power went out. Oh man, I can think about that. And you're listening on your way home from work. All right. Now, how many of you folks have have played? Let me pull up the thing while I'm doing this. So I can actually be looking at the image. There we go. How many of you have not yet played one of the Sorcery game books with me on stream like this? One of the Inkle Sorcery books. How many of you have not done that so far? Can you do the equivalent of raise your hand? Okay, Uber Jaeger is not. You were in the right place, Uber, especially because of the love of Middle-earth stuff. And if I didn't finish that sentence, I think I did about the Shire Adventures stuff. As I did talk about that. That will be returning next week. So again, fear not. We will finish Conspiracy Most Cracked shortly. Okay. Oh, right. That's right. We have no god, so that's why I don't have to worry about covering that over anymore. It was a very strange last session of this game too. I have not. Can you explain, Div? Really? Okay. So basically, the way this works is we do a series of game books and game book illustration streams too on this channel, which work similarly, in which we use our polls. Which, speaking of which, let me make sure that I have that running. Polls. There we are. Which is brought to us by the incredible Effect Life, who happens to be in chat with us right now. And what we do is we vote on what decisions should be made by our character. Now, one thing that is important to remember is that this character, most of the sort of status of the character for this game is being managed through the game itself. So you can see that we have 16 out of 22 stamina at the top left. And I should mention that if you're listening on the way home from work, a la Uberjäger today, please, if I say things like, just feel free to ask if you're driving and can't see it, and either I or somebody in chat will let you know what it is they are seeing, and I will try to help out if I can. So we have 16 out of 22 stamina. We have 8 gold, and we have 1 food ration. I believe we've already eaten tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we're good on that score. But we have made our way into this gorgeous map of the Fortress of Mampang. And I'll talk about the story about this very briefly. So when I call for a vote, it means that chat is going to get the opportunity. I will open the vote. You'll see it pop up in your chat. And then you will have the opportunity to vote. Hello, Real Colbert. You will have the opportunity to vote, and that vote will be counted towards the final total, and then I will input the decision that the chat has made. Eventually, I'd like to get to the point where we have a system like this. It's not obviously with this game, but later systems where it could be kind of integrated completely into a game book would be pretty wild, but that would have to be built that way from the ground up to do it, and it would be pretty hard. I have looked a couple of times at King of the Castle, which does look kind of fun, and I can see certain scenarios where it might be fun, but you need to have enough people to play it, I think. You need to sort of have the right sort of frame of mind for it, but it is kind of fun. It's a game where basically chat is fully integrated into the events that are happening on stream. So again, that's the kind of I've watched a couple of streamers play it, and I thought it looked kind of fun. But for a game like this, we have chat making those votes, and then I will input that decision. So we're basically working together, and it's our responsibility. Does it bring in some people? Interesting. That's actually something to think about, Geister. I'll have to keep that in mind. I hadn't thought about it that way. Because it's $5. I mean, like, it's super cheap for it. Like, that is something I will happily pay for it. So that's not a problem. So anyway, something to think about. So as far as this game is concerned, this is the 4th of a 4-book game book series. The Sorcery series is the best game book series ever made, in my opinion, done in the early 80s by Steve Jackson, not the one who made Car Wars and Illuminati, or GURPS, the other Steve Jackson who made Warlock on Firetop Mountain, and who was the one that was the co-founder of Games Workshop and blah, blah, blah. That's Steve Jackson. So he made these game books, and it was an incredible achievement and all that. Inkle has somehow taken those and made them even better. These are an extraordinary achievement, and when we're done with them, I'm going to have to sit for a long time and think about how on earth, just how they did it, because it's almost sort of breathtaking in its ambition, but that's a thought for another day. We are the Analander. That's us, all the way down there. That guy right there, that person. Right there. We are the Analander, and we are from Analand trying to get back the Crown of Kings, because without it, our country will fall into despair and ruin, and much of the kingdoms around have already started to come into anguish and despair and ruin, etc., etc. And the Crown of Kings has been taken by the Archmage, who is somewhere in this fortress. Now, I'd love to think that he's actually, like, right, there. Like, maybe that's below the roof. But, of course, I have no way of knowing if that's true. All we know is that we have passed through the Shamatanti Hills. That was book 1. We had to survive a Manicore fight in that one. We had to, in Kare City Port of Traps, get through Kare, which was not easy to do for a variety of reasons, time-oriented and otherwise. In 3, we had to not only, the Seven Serpents, we had to not only get across the backlands to the fortress, we also had to defeat 7 serpents that had been sent to find us. By destroying all 7, technically destroying 6 and having the 7th captured, it means that the Archmage still doesn't know that we're here. And the longer that we can keep the Archmage from knowing we're here, the better for our opportunity to do well, I think, obviously, within the course of the game. So that's a big advantage to us. And now, of course, the Crown of Kings. So I won't go through all of the things that we've done in this game. Please take a look at my YouTube channel and take a look at the playlist of Crown of Inkle, and you'll be able to see all of our steps along this journey. But I will say that once we got into the fortress and we had a little bit of a encounter with a snake and everything else, we ended up here going into this place where we were given... there was this strange, like, kind of temporal warp thing, and there were this thing about how the gods sort of fled and they didn't want to be there or something, and none of us really knew exactly what was going on. The end result of it was that our god, the fox, left. Like, this doesn't do anything anymore. And, but we also gained more stamina, so yay? I don't really know what happened there. Entirely, maybe that will be something more for us to learn over time. Came back in the wall, came over here, and then went into this tower. And when we went into this tower, we entered what is essentially this dream state. And I guess we're sort of in a dream now. We went over, we were trying to rest, and so we had a dream, and it's still not clear if we're still in the dream or if we're out of the dream. So it's a little bit, I'm not sure. But that's where we are now, as we have entered this area of the Fortress of Mampang. So, with all that said, let's talk about what happened. This group here was if I can back up here so I can try to explain everything. Blah, blah, blah. Right, okay. So, yes, it was a missing brick. So we slept. We tried to sleep. Then we got to our feet and walked through the darkness. That's the part where I'm not sure if that's true or if this is still a dream. Crumbling walls and broken towers moved past on either side. We were walking past a building where we heard voices. Looking down more carefully, we saw there was a missing brick with gray-green mold covering the gap. And as we looked at the mold, we saw the voices were getting louder, and that meant we were now suddenly looking at the mold itself, and it wasn't just mold, it was like a town, and suddenly we were in the mold/town. And we were now, once we were there, we climbed the hill and saw that there was a meat bone and there was mold that had grown all across it. And there were these blobs of mold that were rolling along inside this town. This is what continues to make me think that we're still dreaming, but who knows. So this is the thing that we did right before the end of last session. You raced down the far side of the hill readying your sword. Chat decided we would run at them. The creatures scattered with surprising speed, emitting high-pitched yelps. They retreat to a safe distance and eye you warily. And so, here's your first decision for you. Yeah, I guess as opposed to tree bones, yeah. You profess an apology. The group, understanding your intent, edge closer. One rolls forward and begins to speak in a rough imitation of the common tongue. Its voice sounds like a bag of pebbles, so it's a bit hard to follow.
Welcome. We are the Gillis, and this is our home. You have been summoned by Mucor's magic. Will you come down to the village?
Okay, so our first vote of the day, chat, is should we come down to the Mucor village? So very simple. Yes, no, or who is Mucor? So to vote in this chat, all you have to do is say $vote space 1 if you want yes, $vote space 2 if you want no, and $vote space 3 if you want to ask who is Mucor. And as you vote, you will see your votes being tallied both in chat and also popping up over there on the polls window provided you by the amazing Effect Life. So get your votes in now, please. $vote space 1 for yes, $vote space 2 for no, $vote space 3 for who is Mucor. I guess probably the way we ask it is like,
What is Mukor?
Like, just to be polite, right? Yeah, go back to the office and file paperwork. Appointment with FEAR.
Mukor of the Hill People.
All right. Cool. All right. Excuse me. Gonna have to excuse my occasional cough/throat clear, chat. That's the one leftover of the earlier illness. Yeah, just use the Oh, yeah. Different last call in this case. There's no giveaway in this case. There you go. All right, going once, going twice. Okay, and the winner is Who is Mukor? So, all right, who is Mukor? Who is Mukor? The Gillis bounces up and down.
Mukor is the leader of Brock and the original ancestor of my people. Mukor traveled here from another world and sees into other worlds. Will you come see Mukor? It has been decreed that you will help us.
Again, I want to point out. Sorry, I want to point out again that I continue to marvel at how beautifully these little moments just blow up into something way greater in the Inkle book. Like, there's nothing like this doesn't happen in Crown of Kings in the original game book, but Inkle just decided to go this direction. Oh no, different kind of Mukor. Oh no, Emily, I'm sorry to hear that. So very simple one here, chat. This one actually is just a 2-vote decision. So or 2-choice decision. So because of that, I'm just going to do a simple vote. $ vote space 1 means you vote yes. $ vote space 2 means you vote no. Now, I am going to ask, as we're going through this, that everyone vote as quickly as you can, only because I really want us to be able to move things along. There are a lot of decisions and choices that get made, and so I try to streamline a little bit by making sure that we move along with these votes. And also, that if it's a place where it's just like, one of the classic, you're having a conversation with someone and you can ask them like 6 different things. If it looks like we're going to get to ask all the 6 things, I'm not going to ask you which to ask first. Like, I'm just going to go because that way we can gather the information and sort of the story together. Well, we're having a discussion with a piece of mold which calls itself the Gillis, who wants us to go meet Mukor, who's created magic. And it looks like we're going to go see him because the chat is overwhelmingly wanting to go hang out with Mukor here. So we're going to find out. Going once, going twice, and closed. The winner is yes. Okay. Yes. The Gillis puffs up with pleasure.
Excellent. This way, please. You will notice most do not speak your tongue. I myself only learn through careful study of passing thunderstorms.
I officially like this dude, partly because I don't understand why he would learn from thunderstorms, but it just sounds awesome. You follow the group down the hill, carefully watching your escort. You follow them to a village built on thousands of levels and in thousands of directions, made of spindles and spires and webbed threads. The creatures gather around you, pawing at your body, your clothing and possessions, fascinated, appalled, and uninhibited. I love that image, right, Leoric? Because the image is, we're so loud. If you are a piece of mold and you're a creature that lives on, like, in a piece of mold, like you're that tiny, then anyone that goes past you obviously would seem like, speaking normally as we would sound like a thunderstorm, right? So it's just, I love it. I love it. Okay, so now two questions that the next two choices that were given are two simple choices, and it is, who are you, or where did you come from? So again, simple vote. Dollar sign vote space 1 is who are you. Dollar sign vote space 2 is where did you come from. The only reason I'm asking chat this and not just asking myself is that if there is a series of dialogue options that I don't know if asking one means that I've cut off the other, like I won't be able to ask the other one if I ask the first one or whatever the case may be, then I will ask chat about that. But again, the faster we make these votes, then the faster we can get on to the next one. So I'm going to try to speed up as much as I can through this. I'm going to last call. Again, dollar sign vote space 1 for yes, for who are you, dollar sign vote space 2 for where did you come from. Very close, very close. Going once, going twice. Okay, Uber Jaeger. Oh, we get another one, and Hilnus votes too. All right. Okay, so the answer is, who are you? Ooh. Wait, who are you?
We are the memories of this place.
The Gillis replies in a chorus.
This place is too old, and yet it lives.
They try to feed you from the rotten meat around which their village is built. One tries to caress you with tendrils pushed deep up your nostrils. You cough and choke violently as the mold fills your mouth and eyes. But notice that our stamina just went up to 18. We were at 16, now we're at 18. So I don't know what all this means yet, except I think it's a dream. Cracked path. During the past day, you gained some maximum stamina. Sorry, it's very loud. Hold on. Sorry. I know it's loud. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. All right, is that better? For some reason, it's way over loud during these sections, and I don't know why. So my apologies, chat. It's just very, very loud. And I don't want to get rid of, like, the nice, ambient stuff the rest of the time. Okay. So, you gain some maximum stamina, +4. We ate 1 provision. You have to eat once per day, or you'll lose, or you're going to lose health. So we have 1 provision left. We have to eat this next day at some point. We entered the Citadel of Mampang. We searched the wheat fields. We were cursed with the Zed spell. Right. We were told about the Zed spell, this time spell. We don't know what that means, but the Archmage remains unaware of you. Every time we get that sentence, chat, we're in good shape. We want the Archmage to remain unaware of you right before we backstab that piece of crap and take the crown that rightfully belongs to Analan. Hashtag Analan for life. Hashtag suck at Archmage. That's what I'm talking about. You pick yourself to your feet and try to shake away your more curious dreams. The wind picks up a little spray from the water and splashes it into your face. It stings where it touches you. So see, it was that way all along. It was definitely what we thought. It was a dream. Hashtag suck it Archmage Saruman. Hey, Echo, how you doing, man? Okay, let's look into the water. I always look at stuff unless I think it'll cut something else out. You lean out over the path and look down into the water. It is black, reflectionless, as though infinitely deep. Okay, this one I will ask chat. Chat, a decision to make here. Should we drop a stone into the water, or should we move on? $ vote space 1, drop a stone into the water. $ vote space 2, move on. Take me to the water. Never drop stones. I don't know, maybe we get to... You know what, also, because it was a dream, we're never going to actually get to meet our boy Mucor. I kind of was like, I was hoping Mucor was going to, like, maybe it was going to be an Ewok C-3PO situation. They're like, oh, you're a god, and so all this stuff. Thank you for the resub. Watches the ripples. 50 months, currently on a 49-month streak. Thank you again, Commander Dunsel. Good to see you, too. I hope you're feeling okay and doing okay. And thank you, Mrs. Dunsel, I already thanked, and I will thank you as well for reaching out on Twitter and so on to see how I was doing. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Echo with a 6-month gift. Let's add on that pile. Wait, Wait, what was the 6 months? I can't see this on Chatty. The last time we did this, we got into some crazy hype train, and you all were doing crazy stuff, and like. Oh, also what is going on with this? Okay, there's that. Arunel, you did that? Oh, it was a 6-month gift. Okay, but not just gave you another 6 months just now. Because I was really confused as to what that meant. Okay, I'm going to pull that up on the other screen so that just in case. Oh, what, you did a resub of that 6 month. Thank you, Echo, very much. Seriously, thank you. 54 total months. Also, separate shout out to Echo, who has sent along pictures of the snow in Norway, which I've been able to show some of said pictures to my son, who would really love to get a chance to play in some snow, and has been thoroughly thoroughly disappointed this winter about the dud of the essentially almost no snow. I mean, there's been some snow outside here and there. There was some snow today, but none of it stuck. And there was one storm that stuck around for like 2.5, 3 days, and it was like maybe 6 inches, maybe. It's been a very, very one. Echo gifted you another 6 months. Oh. Okay, well, thank you. Then welcome back, Arudinel, and thank you, Echo, for that gift. That is very kind of you. I like snow. I don't want nothing but snow, but I like snow. Effect Life for the tier 1 sub gift. Thank you so much to gifting a sub to Regnor. Thank you. And Chaotix is subbed. Oh my goodness. Suddenly the hype train is real. What's up, Chaotix? Thank you so much for the gift as well, Effect Life, and welcome back in, Regnor. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like something, Easter. So it looks like there's a hype train. I see it. Now, our record on this channel is a level 6 hype train. We hit that the last time. So right now we're on level 2. And you can see for yourself, subbing, gifting, or one of those gets to the next level. But don't go, go as crazy as you all want to, not as anything else, because ArvCon is only a few months away. And the joy for those folks is going to be more important than what you're able to do to support me. But I'm extremely grateful for the support and help here. I really am. Thank you. Okay, well, you've decided to drop a stone into the water despite Triffid's. Oh my goodness. Your fan lost power. I wonder if that's that almost sounds like a driver thing for a moment there, Rudinel. Like a driver thing on the car. Not a driver thing. I meant a temp thing. On like the card is what that sounds like a bit. I don't know. Oh, because of your room fan, yeah. Nice, Lotwook. Let's go. Lotwook is going to be at the Klein event. Let's go. Anyone who comes to this thing in person needs to make sure that after the event, that they introduce, or, so I don't think there'll be time during the event, but after the event, you need to come up and say hi, and you need to tell me who you are. Like, you can obviously introduce yourself in real life, but I mean, you can also need to tell me like who your Twitch name is so that I'll know. Because that's typically what happens, right? At a con, I'll be at like a panel or whatever, and someone comes up and they're like, "Hey, what's up, Arv?" I'm like, because I have no way of knowing who you are. And they're like, and then they're like, so and so, like that. Geister did this, met up with us at a convention that I went to, and was like, Geister. I'm like, oh, I know exactly who you are. And I love doing that. So I would love to meet any or all of you who come to that. Thank you, Lotwook. Seriously. I'm very excited about that event. I think it's going to be really awesome. And it's going to be wild. So really pumped up about it. Okay. So where were we? Okay. Be careful, Rudinel. Yeah. Be careful when you do that. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So we're dropping a stone in the water by the will of chat. You drop one of your pebbles into the water. It sinks without a trace and without even a ripple, but you must keep moving. Ooh, wow. We have places to go. All right. We got 3 places to go, actually. Now, we're not going to go back to the broken wall because we made the decision to come the way that we did. So we're not going to go back now. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to choose amongst the following options. We could go to the west path. As you can see for yourselves, that's the path to the left, the west. We could take the east path, which is up along the wall. Or we could, sorry, let me rephrase that because I missed one. Let me do it the way that it looks like on the screen. We could go into the tower, or we could take the east path along the tower. So, you've got the west path is to the left. Let me open this poll up first. Never mind that poll that I just voted on, that I just closed. Okay, so I've opened up the poll. So, you could go on the west path. That's $vote space 1. That's heading this direction, I guess, further into this area with the towers. We could go to the tower, which is right above us. This is the tower that actually had the brick in it that we just stopped, that we just like woke up from our dream from having with Mucor and all that. That's the tower here. So I assume that means going into the tower. Or we could go along the east path, which is this path along this way along the wall. So $vote space 1 is west. $vote space 2 is the tower. $vote space 3 is the east path. Oh, wow. So the tree didn't hit anything? I gather, Arudnell, I hope. Dang. Chaotix, dude. What? Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 sec here. Something in my chatty is not doing what I was hoping for. All right, hold on a second so I can appropriately thank Chaotix. Just give me a moment here. Okay. There we go. So, Chaotix, thank you for the freaking gifts. Suddenly, Chaotix is Wesley's Dahlia. Is that what you really want? 5 tier 1 subs. Chaotix, a tier 1 sub to Dolly TV, to Axeman 808, to Flying Enemy, to Q in the Shell. I must have missed somebody because there were 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and to Freiburg. So welcome everybody, all of that group that I just mentioned, and thank you, Chaotix, for that gift. That's very, very kind of you. And thank you for Rudnell for gifting a tier 1 sub to Cujo. Thank you so much for all of that. Paid for it. No. You don't do any of these things. Please do not. Attend to your own finances first, folks. So 76% into the hype train. Thank you, everybody. Super cool. And I actually think we have 105 followers to go before the next follower goal that's listed that Twitch automatically comes up with. And then 13 more subs before hitting 90. Right now we have 77 subs. So that's all very cool. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. Now all of the amazingly generous people, besides being just generous by just being here. Oh, my goodness. 5 tier 1 subs from Hillness. Real Red Fox, Search of Slack, RPG Meetup, Coven of Lunara, of course, Light and Passion. Thank you, Hillness. Level 3 complete. You all are way too generous. Also, a lot of these people that are giving subs have already given, like, incomparable, or that's not even the right word. Incalculable, that's what I'm looking for. Amounts of time, resources, energy, effort, like, just Effect Life. Like, Effect Life made this bot for free for me, and then was also like, here, let me just gift you a bunch of subs. Like, you were all super, super generous. Wait, what? I did what? I didn't do that. Did I do that? Oh, crap. Shoot. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. About to beat your last record, it says. Boy, Twitch is not joking around with this. Thank you, everybody, for that. Thank you to Effect Life again for the subs to Tanika, to Geester, to Big Tiger Man. Thank you for the subs for all of those. You got a wonky hype dog. Yeah, I don't even know about what the hype emotes are that came from that. Thank you, everybody, so much for the generosity. It's really kind of you all. Oh, well, thanks, Effect Life. As I said, you folks are like the big you and my family are the big exceptions to those. It was just, the hell's going on? Chaotix, dude, what? 5 more subs. What? Jack Daniels, nice. Downtime. Now it's the Dragon of the Blackpool, Lord Cucumber, Phoebe Barton. Exactly what Triffid said. I really am grateful to those who have helped financially in this way. I also really want to say that what I love about all these people the most is that I just think they're amazing people. So thank you for being here. No donation or sub or anything is ever required here. It's always appreciated, but never required. So thank you. And they have now beaten the sub goal. It's also level 6 hype train. We have beaten the sub goal. Thank you. Thank you. That was the sub goal that was listed by them. So thank you. I know we're never going to get to the game. Plus, I'm trying to respond to a PM too. This basically summarizes what's been happening for me over the last 2 days, except in a good way this time. Okay. All right, now I'm caught up with everybody. Yes, well, that is amen to that, Echo. Can I spin some plates? I know. Hey, one other thing, Lotwook, I wanted to mention. If you have bought a ticket, because I know you were mentioning that you're in New Milford, if anyone who is willing to do this, or would like to do this, I can send you a copy of this flyer right here. That flyer right there, which is brought to us by the Klein Memorial Auditorium. That one right there is the one that we're going to be distributing physically across different places. So if you know a couple of places in New Milford, for instance, that might be good spots, like, I don't know, local library or school, outside school where it's legal to do this or whatever, where they could put up a flyer like this. I'd love to send a few. Obviously, I would pay for it, to be put up. So 2 game stores. Yeah, so do me a favor, Lotbook, if you don't mind, if you're comfortable doing this, if you don't mind just whispering me, I'm not going to respond to it right now, but if you don't mind Twitch whispering me, and or if you're on Discord, PMing me your address, I will get copies of these made, and just let me know if you want like 5 to distribute or 10 or whatever. Let me know, and I will send them out to you to have that done. Yes, I thought so too. I actually thought of that too, Chaotix. I thought of that too. I think they did a good job with that flyer at the bottom right. That they managed to get in both the Klein's logo, mine, and then the Damon Runyon one. And of course, Chaotix should know because it is Chaotix who designed said logo, both the Arva Nelaron and the Gregory A. Wilson. Okay, good stuff. Very good all the way around. Okay. Right. Cool. Okay. Oh, is that for me, Emily, that you're asking that? I did not see your notes. Sorry, it was a little crazy. Look at that. Ah, that's so cool. That's so cool. Thank you all so much. Right. Okay, so I will get rid of that, and let's go back to this, and let's get back to the game, shall we? Okay. Was I running a poll while this was happening? I was running a poll. Oh, and you all decided that you wanted to go to the tower. See, you all knew exactly what you wanted the whole time. All right. Tower it is. The early morning sun makes the air glow. You cross the waters and push your way inside the crumbling tower without knowing what you might find. Once inside, you immediately break out into a smile. This tower might be gloomy, but it's certainly a relief after the ruin outside. Okay, cool. Yes, I see it. I see it, and I will... Thank you, Lotwook. Yeah, because that's... I mean, you're right in the wheelhouse. Like, seriously, like, completely in the wheelhouse of this. So, I actually... I had a Honda that I used to get fixed up in Milford. And then, well... You're in New Milford. I used to get it fixed in Milford. But there we go. Strong support. Let's see. What was my emote? This was the emote they gave us. Interesting. So that's like basically that's the Twitch hype cheer bird pigeon guy thingamabob. Regardless, very cool. Super cool. We got 24 subs during all that. Thank you, everybody, so much for your generosity. Thank you so much. And that brings us now to... I'm going to reload just to see. It's going to bring us over now. Current number is... Wait for it. Yep. So we are now 91 subs. Goal was achieved. And we are 6,595 out of 6,700 followers. Okay. Yeah, I will respond to that after the stream, Lotwook, and thank you. Okay. Let's roll. Where are we? Thank you all so much for that. Seriously, like, you all know my love is just... for you is, thank you so much. Okay. The early morning sun makes the air glow. Oh, we talked about this already. Yes, we're inside the tower. Let's look at the doors. You look over at the doors. There's one behind you and one in front, but when you try to count them, you find you can't quite manage it. Okay, did you notice that we're up to 22 out of 22 stamina suddenly? It's probably because turning to look at one means the other one is behind, so you can't see it anymore, and you can hardly count something you can't see after all. Eventually, you decide there are most likely 2 doors here, even if you can't really be certain. The atmosphere of this place seems genuinely good for you. What a charming place. Okay. You have a quick peek around the room, this way and that. It's curiously dark. You pay special attention to the corners, hoping to find something interesting. A colorful spider maybe, or some nice juicy moss. You don't see anything, and after a while start to feel a bit let down. So, interesting, chat. We've got several options here. Because I don't understand why we just went up to 22 stamina. Not that I'm complaining, but I don't fully get what just happened. Therefore, because I don't get this, I'm going to put this open for a vote. Normally what I do when I get to a spell casting thing is I look at what spells we have available to us, and then I post the spells, so I don't say... Do you want to cast a spell? Everyone votes yes, no, yes, no. And then if you do want to cast a spell, then do another vote. I try not to do that. But in this case, because I don't understand what's going on fully in this area, I am instead going to simply do what it does, which is it asks, do you wish to sit down, cast a spell, or leave? Well, it's either the room with all the healing before a boss fight or something weird is going on. Because I don't understand why we're just like... It was one of those things that was like, you really feel wonderful here. Like, do we? Really? Yeah. If we decide to cast a spell and the spell sucks... I mean, the only issue is whether the game, if you press cast a spell, doesn't let you go back. But... I think it'll probably be fine. So $vote space 1 means to sit down. $vote space 2 means to cast a spell. Now, I don't know what spell options they'll give us, unfortunately. Again, that's based upon... I normally would look first. to see which spells they were going to offer, but I can't do that here because the space is weird. I don't know. And then leave is obviously a $ vote space 3. You hear music in Latin? Music in Latin, huh? Oh, hey, hey, oh, yeah. Oh, you had some moss in your nose. Vienna Lander here is now and feeling really fine. But that's because he's really in the Matrix. Outside all is doom. I don't know. That's my assumption about what's actually happening. All right, last call, last call. Fascinating. Going once, going twice, and okay. So, sit down is the vote. You drop down onto all fours quite merrily. This is no kind of place to sleep, but it's a great place to cross your legs. You try crossing them one way and then the other, but neither way is really comfortable. You're forced to stand up once more. Clearly there's something wrong with the floor. What? I'm going to open the poll again. Look at the floor, cast a spell, or leave. $ vote space 1, look at the floor. $ vote space 2, cast a spell. $ vote space 3, leave. Again, I'm only being super granular because this whole thing is striking me as odd. Does anyone think it's possible that maybe we're just on a very extensive journey within our journey, if you know what I'm saying? Perhaps it's a journey that involves listening to a lot of Doors music. Hello, is there anybody in there? Just smile if you can hear me. Is there anyone at all? Relax now. Yeah, we're still floating on Murka mushrooms. That's what I'm saying. Normally, yeah, Triffid, but I'm just worried about, yeah. I mean, I guess I could just do it. I'm just worried that it's going to close down other options. We'll see. You pause where you start and stand to regard the cracks in the flagstones underfoot. You trace them this way and that. They form loops, branch, and then rejoin. It is, you realize after some time, almost as though all the stones fitted together. After tracing a crack for several minutes only to have it disappear under your own boot, you look up once more. Okay. Now we have a simple vote. Do we cast a spell or leave? $ vote space 1 means we cast a spell. $ vote space 2 means we leave. I mean, part of the problem, I think, here, or part of the thing that's so $ vote space 1 if you'd like to cast a spell, $ vote space 2 if you'd like to leave. One thing that's sort of throwing me off about this is that this reminds me very much of like, it's like people get fascinated by certain things when there are certain enhancements with which they have been conducting research for personal enlightenment. Yeah, something seems real weird to me here. Like, the minute we get in there, like, what a charming place. Like, I will never forget going to a drive-in movie theater. I guess it was the summer of my freshman year of college, and I was still living at home. And so I went with a group of friends that were still people that a lot of whom were just from like the local town. And basically there were like 5 of us who went, and 3 of the 4 of us who went were just high as a kite before they even got there. And I'm here to tell you, like, the discussions that stoned people think are funny or fascinating or intriguing when people are with them are not stoned. I just, me being clearly one of the not stoned people. Ah, yes. Yes. I just, it was an interesting situation. Oh man, we ended up watching one of the movies at the drive-in that weekend was Cliffhanger, which was very odd. They found it was hilarious. You'll be shocked to learn that these stoned people thought that it was hilarious. Yes. No, I don't do drugs ever, Chaotix. Don't drink. Have never been stoned. Zip. I was straight edge before straight edge was cool. Nope. No interest. I don't judge people. I mean, if you do what you like, of course, and they ought to be legal within limits. I don't think the hardest of hard drugs should be. But for myself, no thanks. Yeah. But, no problem with others who want to do that. Again, within limits. Straight edge. Yeah, that was the term that my friend used to be like. The straight edge skinhead versus, at the time, it was the straight edge skinhead versus the Nazi skinhead. You wanted to be with the straight edge skinhead. If you encounter a Nazi skinhead, the way to counteract them, one of the best ways was to have a straight edge skinhead with you. They were just it was very much the counteracting force. Okay. What did we just choose? We chose cast spell. You open your arms to cast a spell and end up falling over backwards and collapsing into giggles. Such a shame there's no one here to enjoy this place with you. It really is quite delightful. This is 1,000,000% high on something. 1,000,000%. You head for the door, but get distracted by the way the view of the world outside moves left and right a little as you sway from side to side. You are soon standing on the spot and just swaying. Who are we going to pray for aid to? Pray for aid? No, we didn't drink the water. Thank you, Shadow Mage, with a resub. We may never have left that dream. Who are we going to pray for aid to? Nobody is there. Mucor, obviously. Yeah, exactly. I pray for aid to the Grateful Dead, to fish, and to Fritos corn chips. This is says everyone at the vacation home on med adjustments. That's a tremendous line of Rudenell. Never lose that sense of humor, Rudenell. Good to see you, Shadow. How you been? How you doing, man? All right, so chat, we got a problem, I think. Again, another vote. Are we going to pray for aid or leave? $ vote space 1 is pray for aid. $ vote space 2 is leave. Sorry for all the rapid fire votes, but this is a weird situation. Exactly. We have become comfortably numb. You been feeling a tad off today? Oh man, shout out. I was just talking about feeling better after having felt a tad off, more than a tad off before that. I'm sorry to hear that, man. This is a tough call. The other thing is too, we don't have a god right now. This is, Pier. Woof. Very odd. All right. Last call on this vote. Going once. Yeah. Yes, I was quite under the weather for a while. I mean, it was basically just the fever, honestly, and then I was feeling achy and uncomfortable and, headache and all that. It was the flu. The description of it, like all the symptoms match up with the flu completely. And I didn't have any stomach or digestive problems other than I just had no appetite. Did I mention that I lost 9 pounds in like 4 days? So have some water weight loss for you. But, right? No, this is the thing. This doesn't show up in the book at all, Arudnell. There's none of this. This is all Inkle. This is what I think this game came out in Sorcery 4, someone could look up for me. It probably came out like 27. No. Probably maybe like 2019, something like that. Was it that early? 2016, it was that early. Wow, well, so this is still modern though. 2016 is what we're looking at. Okay. Pray for aid. You close your eyes and attempt to offer a prayer, but end up singing a song from your childhood instead. 5 sight masters wearing spiky hats. The song brings a smile to your face, and it must be said, a tear to your eye. Why would you leave? This empty chamber is fascinating. You turn around in the spot a few times to get a full view and fall over. You have another try for the far door, though you are by now turned around enough that you can't really be sure which door is which. Stepping out into the open, you feel a slight headache coming on as though you had drunk too much ale. Okay, I guess we're... Bizarre. Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but at least it's going to let us go out. So, chat, really simple. Again, my apologies for all the rapid fire votes. Are we going to the east door, which is the one up to the north, or the west door? East door is $vote space 1. West door means going out the door that we came from. That's $vote space 2. And we're going to have to take it real easy if we go into one of these towers, if that's going to be the effect every time. Like, I wish we could almost mark this and be like, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I was literally just coming. I felt much better. My fever was, my fever broke and everything on Sunday. So I was feeling much better literally the same day of daylight savings in the U.S. So everything was, I was already a little bit like, kind of not all with it, a little bit, disoriented. Today I'm fine again. And so then on top of it, also 1 hour ahead. So crazy talk. All right. Last call. Thank you, everybody, by the way, for the quick votes on these. I've really, really appreciated them. Speeds things up a lot. Okay. So we are going forward. Forward, animal, to the east door. You step back out onto the path and follow it a short way. 3 paths meet at this point in the shadow of the eastern rock. From the eastern tower, you hear the faintest sound of music. The air seems to fizz and crackle with secret energy. Which way now? What? Say that again? Okay, so there's music in the eastern tower, and the air seems to fizz and crackle with secret energy. Oh, okay. So, in other words, we don't have any details about the nearby tower. We're not going to go, obviously, back to where we just came from. So, we can either go to the nearby tower, that's this one right here, or the east tower, that is this one up here. We're not going to go back to the west, we just came from there. I will say, though, chat, we did keep our stamina for this. I mean, we're max stamina. We haven't eaten, I don't think, yet, but I'm fairly pleased with that. So, very simple, chat. $vote space 1 means we go to the nearby tower. $vote space 2 means we go to the east tower. The only thing we know is that we supposedly hear the faint sound of music from the east tower. Is that true, Drew? They keep going back and forth on this, but man, I just stop with the daylight savings, please. Just keep it the way it is. Good God. All right. $vote space 1, excuse me, for nearby tower. $vote space 2 for east tower. Last call, last call. Can't decide which time to stick to. Most medical experts say that it makes sense to stick to standard time and just leave it there. That's what most medical experts do. Oh, it hadn't been voted on yet. Okay. Yeah, I think that... Yeah, exactly, Emily. Just stop changing it. Right. Exactly. Right. If you're gonna stick with daylight savings time, I still think that's a mistake. But just keep it there, you know. But if hopefully you will actually make the right call, just go back to standard time. Just leave it there. It's an outdated thing from agricultural system. Standard is the one where is during the winter. Standard is during the winter. And like the agricultural, it comes from a desire from agriculture from like 80 years ago. It's way outdated now. Yeah, and there's increased heart attack and vascular issues from people. Literally, like heart attacks go up after daylight savings time. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to the nearby tower. Okay, here we go. You enter the next tower nervously. Oh boy. This chamber is large, circular, and peppered with dark alcoves. The floor is pure marble, as are the walls. In the center, standing on a pedestal of rough stone, is a large stone sculpture of a ram. Okay, now, the ram, there is a ram that exists in the original book, but more importantly for us, I'm almost positive that I've seen clues on this. Let's see. Okay. Okay, holy water. Menobites prevent magic. The blood candle. Maybe not. I thought that we had something about... I thought we had some note about something regarding a ram. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Hi, Tilted. Unix epoch time best time. Okay, here we go. How you doing, Tilted? What's up, man? Okay, so we got this, chat. Here we have a ram. All right. So, this time I will look around the room. You scan the room. Nothing moves, but the darkness in the alcoves might hide something. Across the room is a set of double doors, large enough that 3 ogres could walk through. Another doorway leads north, but the path in that direction is crumbled into ruin. Okay. Marble covering the walls and floors is quite exquisite, but peering closer, you notice splintering cracks. What would have caused such damage? You pause to admire the statue. It's about twice your height, cut smoothly into the glossy rock. The craftsmanship is impressive, sculptured fur that looks soft enough to touch. There's only one flaw. Oh man, what is everyone being sick lately? I'm sorry to hear that, Tilted. That sucks, dude. I'm just getting over the flu from this past weekend myself. You cannot shake the feeling that the statue is looking at you. Just then, the statue behind you moves. Its marble body groans with strain as its head lifts to face you. It shakes itself, the stone flaking. 2 blank eyes stare you down. Okay, this is bad. It jerks and twitches as it raises a leg. It brings a hoof down onto the stone. Boom! The air shudders with the force of a single step. Boom! The ram descends from the pedestal, never taking its eyes from you. Boom! Can we do anything? You shift your weight, ready to leap or attack, but the ram simply stares, unblinking and unmoving. Then it takes one more halting step, lowers its head, and begins to charge. Well, crap, chat. All right. Better put our thinking caps on, everybody, because this is going to be no fun. Okay. Do we wait for it? Wait for it, wait for it. I am the ram who's... No. I am the animal who's gonna be hit by a ram. Okay. Dodge sideways. Face it head on. What? And be like, I can do it. The hell's that all about? Okay. Anyway, 3 choices, chat. Do we wait for this ram? Do we dodge sideways, or do we face it head on? Bonus action, soil trousers. Yeah, countercharge it. He'll never expect that. I was having better time back with our good boy, our boy Mucor. All right, do we $ vote space 1 is wait for it. I feel like I'm pretty confident this is not a fake. I'm pretty confident. Head on, it's a ram. Right, it's the only way to gain its respect, right? Right, Lotwook? Let's be clear. We are not going to win against the ram. I'm pretty confident of that. The we're a better ram than the ram is not true. But waiting for it, dodging it, I can see any of these things. Wait for it. It feels like a test. Well, fair. I don't know what no. I totally agree, Geester. And what I'm saying is I don't know what the test is. Again, I remind everybody that there is something called the ram that exists in the original book too, but it's the original book as well. But it's not anything like this. Like, that picture's the same, but it's not. It's handled, and it seems to be handled, I think, in a different way. That is a disturbing ram. Incidentally, by the way, if ever in a situation like this yourselves, chat, may I strongly recommend that you not attempt to headbutt a ram back. The ram wins every time. Completely. Wait for it to get closer than dodge. Not with attitude. All right. Chat is not sure. Face. Wow. This is a close vote. So, all right. 4 of you, specifically, Commander Dunsel, Drew the Damager, Effect Life, and Trifity Mats, think you should wait. 1 of you, specifically Tilted Gaming, is like, yo, I'm dodging. And 5 of you, Divinorium, Emily the Invincible, Mrs. Dunsel, Geester, and Lotwook, are like, face this guy head on. Oh, is there... Remind me when we get there, Effect Life. It's a test, it will embrace us. All right, I mean, okay. So last call, chat, last call. I have no idea here. This is me being like, you know what, chat? I place myself in your more than capable hands. Yes, chat chosen game of the month today. Actually, I should have mentioned this already, chat. As it turns out, this works out kind of well because on Friday we are playing D&D with viewers, which is is very much like this, except it's actual D&D designed for a solo system. We're playing Into the Unknown, and which is by Pace Setter Games, and we're actually going to be moving on to this next rather advanced step in the hierarchy, so to speak. So we're gonna be doing that next. That's happening on Friday, and then Saturday it is more Eberron. I think it's Eberron Oracle of War on Saturday. Okay, remind me then on Effect Life, especially when we get there, because the thing is, Effect Life's bot is incredible. So like, can do a ton of stuff. So, and I may forget some of it. All right, here we go. Going once. Going twice. All right. We're going to face it head on. All right, Chad, here we go. You stare down the ram, feet wide apart, trusting in your robust constitution. It slams into you like a landslide, and you're thrown backwards by the force of the blow. Dazed on the ground, you hear the thunderous steps as the creature turns. Frankly, if that thing hit us, I think the fact that we only took 2 stamina damage is essentially miraculous. Like, I think that's called we would be 1-hit killed, I think is how that works. Wow. Okay. Well, gotta be honest, I don't think that's the way to go, so apparently. So, Now, again, chat, I've opened this vote because I can't just look around because this is time sensitive. It's already turning around. So $ vote space 1 is look around. $ vote space 2 is stand. That's enough time to headbutt back. All right, we were taking it easy on you, but the time's come, all right? Can't even imagine. Hey, Tilted's going to be with me on this one. And actually, and Emily has been here many times. Anyone of you who's ever had even a kind of a mild headache, but one that's lasted for a while, knows that the thought of banging your head into anything is just like, no. Like, not a freaking chance. Wenchkin, what's up, bro? Wenchkin is here. You should be following Wenchkin. Awesome Australian streamer. Wenchkin, I have to ask you, I ask you this in all perfect candor as someone who I have thought for a while has a very strong constitution to have survived some of the things that apparently have happened to you in the past that you have discussed physically. Have you ever rammed an animal personally, physically? I mean, because of not obviously trying to hurt them necessarily, but like, have you been run into by a horse or kangaroo or like a drop bear? Like, has anything ever like, because I just, let's add some vertigo to the mix. Oh God. I only had vertigo tilted once, positional vertigo. It was one of the creepiest experiences I ever had. I literally like couldn't, and I called up my doctor frantic. I was like, and he's like, oh, just come in, it'll be fine. Like, what? And he like, it was a thing where I sat up suddenly, he showed me how to do it, and then it was gone. And it was just because one of the flakes that float in the inner ear to create balance had somehow gotten dislodged. It's never happened since. Except in the street where I butt a ram. Rams, horses, and playing with wait, what? Rams, horses, and playing with kangaroos, yes. Almost got squashed by a cow and a horse float when I was in the fire brigade. Wow. See, that's why I asked. Those of you who know that you would not have known me because my father, when he was working at a dairy farm in Vermont, when he was, I think, 14 or 15, almost was killed by a workhorse because he fell over when he was trying, like he slipped, basically, and spooked the horse, and one hoof came up. And if you've ever seen a horse's hooves, I'm not talking the delicate hooves of a racehorse, a hoof that's like larger than your head. And my dad rolled out of the way about a second before my father would have been dead and I would not have been born. So I'm really glad that my dad dodged. And it was totally my dad's fault. My dad was like, it's completely his fault. He's just like, he wasn't paying close enough attention, slipped, and whatever. It was just, ugh. Oh, God, yeah. Having the air just knocked out. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, that's happened to me once, Triffid. Oh, definitely. Yo, Tilted, though. Try to get it. But listen, though, even stop by urgent care or something, man. That's not something you have to suffer with. The positional vertigo is something that can be fixed. And even if it's regular vertigo, that is also something which has some potential for treatment. Now, some people do have it where it never goes away ever, no matter what the treatment. I feel really bad for those people. But they are able to usually do something, though. Oh, yeah, Triffid, exactly, yes. That feeling is just the worst. Oh. Okay, folks, here we go. Stand in the place where you get to your feet nauseous. By simply entering this room, you have sealed your fate. This is now a fight for your life. All right, chat. So what are we going to do? Should we attack? Should we cast a spell? Or should we run for the far door? Door's probably going to be locked, right? Oh, no, Wenchkin. Drop kick it is not an option, I'm afraid. Do we attack, do we cast a spell, or do we run for the far door? It'd be great if we had a stop ram spell. See, and this is the thing. Under normal circumstances, I would actually fire up the cast the spell thing. so you could see your options. The reason I can't do that here is because the time frame. If I do that, and if it says something like, you don't have time to cast a spell, the ram hits you for 6 more points of damage. You know what I mean? So it's not a cost-free exercise. Normally I do, when it's given as an option, click on it, and then I give you a choice of spells too. So we don't have a grease spell. We do have a... there's a paralyzed spell called Fix, but you need a Staff of Oak Sapling. We don't have one. There's a Force Field spell that puts up a Force Field that might protect us, I guess, from being hit, but it wouldn't defeat the ram. Trying to think what else. Zap, that's a lightning bolt spell. Is that going to do anything? It's a ram? A ram statue? Yeah, you got to download some RAM. This thing is like at least... what do you think? I think this is like... That looks like 8 gigs of RAM to me. That right? That look like 8 gigs of RAM. No, it's made out of stone. Looking kind of chonky, could be 16. He looks, you can see from his expression that those are, jokes that people have made before. You can see from the scratches on his face that apparently those people don't make those jokes anymore. That joke was marvelous. Sedimentary, my dear Commander Dunsel. That looks like a ram that had a wild boar for a father. Yeah, that. Okay. Right. Okay, last call, last call. Going once, going twice. He just hung out too long. He like literally stoned. Yeah. Dragon Spear, what's up, man? Stoned by mushrooms to stone. Yeah, this is definitely the stoned episode, apparently. Good to see you, Dragon. How you been, man? Yeah, thanks, man. I was not with it. I had the flu. And I have started feeling better on Sunday morning into early Sunday afternoon. Then I was still like disoriented, honestly, hit a little loopy for much of that day and some of the next day. And then I just got absolutely slammed by stuff trying to catch up because a lost weekend was no bueno. True. One of those medieval types of statues that people only heard of described inaccurately. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to do it. Let's see if it'll let us do it. It will. Cast a spell. Here's what we got. Let's see what we've got. We have got gum. Oh, create glue. That's a good idea, but we don't have a vial of glue, so that's not going to work. So we could cast sap. That causes depression. I guess we could really depress the ram. 6. Oh wait, I gotta pull up my thing. So, all right. So we could cast sap. Sorry, let me do this in order. That's 1 stamina. We could cast 6. That clones us. Also costs 1 stamina. Well, I'm guessing it causes depression on the creature you're facing, because otherwise I don't understand why we would do that either. Is that an eye? Oh, that is an eye. Okay, we did that. So we cast sap, cast 6. We could cast wall, which creates an invisible wall. Cast wall. I could see that have value too. It is expensive in stamina, but we are in better shape on that score than we have been for a while. So it's not impossible to see that going that way. D. Cause clumsiness. Okay, that's also really interesting. That's very interesting. Causing clumsiness on the ram. I could see that. Cause slowness. Another valuable one. Dope is open locks and doors. So, I mean, I guess if the door on the other side of the room is locked, you could use that, but we're not at the other side of the room, and, like, you know, we don't even know if it's locked. Like, I don't know if that's the problem. Okay, and I think that might be it. Did I miss anything? DS. Oh, zap. Create lightning. I mean, I'm sure that might damage it. I don't know that one lightning bolt is going to stop that thing. And I think, is that all? Yeah, because it's gum. Right. All right, chat. So here we go. We can cast Sap. That causes depression. I don't know in the other creature. I don't know if that helps or not, or if it even knows what that means, but that's 1 stamina. We could cast 6. That clones the caster. Also casts 1 stamina. We could cast Wall. That creates an invisible wall. That costs 3 stamina. But obviously, if you create a wall, and if the wall holds, that's good for us when the ram hits it, I guess. Cast Dumb means causing clumsiness. Now, that costs 3 stamina, but it would cause clumsiness, presumably in the ram. Maybe the ram just sort of trips all over itself and falls to the ground, because it is a stone creature, and it's on a stone floor. If you drop a stone hard enough on a stone floor, maybe there's that. So think about that. Cast Doze is cause slowness, and that would slow it down. I could see value of that. That's 1 stamina. Cast Dope is open locks and doors. That's 1 stamina. I still don't understand the point of doing that when we're not even next to a door. Or cast Zap, create lightning, 3 stamina. Depends on whether you think this lightning bolt brings the thing down before it gets to us. I don't know. 3 stamina. So, Sap, so $ vote space 1 is cast Sap. $ vote space 2 is 6. $ vote space 3 is Wall. $ vote space 4 is Dumb. $ vote space 5 is Doze. $ vote space 6 is Dope. $ vote space 7 is Zap. You got a lot of options here. Right, and yeah, although you can tell now, I think we know why the walls were pretty much like ripped apart, right? Remember it said the thing about like, oh, yeah, they were all ripped. I'm like, I bet I know why. So we gotta Olay this thing is what we're talking about, I think. All of the above, right. Clone yourself, cause depression, create an invisible wall, also make it clumsy and slow, open the door, walk out, and zap the hell out of it while it's like, you know, like slow-mo, order 99. All right, well, right now we've got a tie between cloning the caster and causing clumsiness to the ram. And we have 2 votes leading right behind. I'm going to last call this, but get your votes in now. Please. Please and thank you. Let's unlock our true potential. The potential which landed us on the ground 2 stamina points fewer. That potential. I love that little line, help no. $sign vote space 4. Going once. Going twice. All right, closed. People got their votes in. We're going to cast dumb. Let's hope that we're not. All right. Let's do it. Dumb. You cast the enchantment and the ram trips on its own feet. It also has trouble rising again. Let's go. Tangled in its own limbs, you have time to race over to the far door. Okay, this is actually kind of a funny misplaced metaphor here, chat. Tangled in its own limbs, you have time to race over. You are tangled in its limbs, like, all right, let's go. Let's open the damn door and get the hell out. You tug on the far doors of the chamber, but they do not budge. The effects on the ram will not last for much longer. Okay, this one we have to cast a spell, chat. Now we know what to do. This door needs to open. So, chat, without me having to run through everything again, I think, yeah, this is all the same stuff. So, we have to open this door, chat. So, with that said, Yep. Exact same pole. Now we are standing in front of the door. And there is a spell, which you will note, which is not casting Zap. There is a spell called Dope, which literally opens doors. So, before that gave us time to get over there. I actually love this chain. Because we're basically clumsy and then book it and then open it. Now, let's hope that our magic is stronger than whatever is holding this door in place. But this seems like it's designed for this. Plus, it's only 1 stamina. All right, I'm going to last call this because I think we have a sense of what this is. Yeah, I get the impression, though, I don't know whether this area... I don't know how much of this area is his or not. There was an area that we found that was outside of his influence. This may not be that, but I'm not clear about how much the towers do or don't know. Yeah, exactly. Why is this fool doing all this? Going once. Going twice. But what else are we going to do, you know? Like, in this situation, unfortunately, Effect Life. Okay. All right, we're going to open it. Open this door. Looking to the constellations overhead, you craft the spell. The double doors at the end fly open, then begin to fall shut once more under their own weight. You dive quickly through, gasping for air. God damn, chat. Woo! All right, can we just take a moment and, say that nice work, okay? Nice work. And by the way, at the beginning of our session a couple hours ago, we had 16 out of 22 stamina. We just used right there 6 stamina to get out of that room. 1 because we got hit by the ram, and then we used 4 stamina to cast Dumb to make it too clumsy to stand, and then another 1 to open the door just then. It was a lot of stamina, but I'll tell you what, though, Commander Dunsel, I would rather have that be the case with the ram on the other side of in the room back there than us dead on the floor. Yeah, 6 stamina lost. But listen, Okay, here's what we got. You stand atop a short walkway between 2 towers. The air stirs a little, still cold but fresh. A stone archway passage holds a doorway, but the door has been bricked over. The work looks shoddy and rushed. All right, now we have a more rational situation. I'm going to save this, actually, just in case we end up back in that room for some reason. I'm going to call it the Ram spell list. Okay. All right. I know, right? You have the danger of being a completionist. All right, chat. So, should we kick the wall? Should we break through with our sword? What? Our super awesome freaking badass assassin's sword? Why would we do that? Or turn back and face the ram? I think you know the answer to this one. All right, what should we do, chat? Do we kick the wall? Do we break through with our sword? We might have to end up in the end breaking through with our sword, or do we turn back? to face the ram. Maybe the ram is different now. Maybe the ram has seen the error of its ways. Maybe it's like, you know what? I feel like I've been a little too bullheaded. I feel like I always wanted to take life by the horns. And now, honestly, I have to admit, I feel a little bit sheepish. I don't want to be someone on the lam and just having the wool pulled over my eyes. I want to be in a situation where I can not feel so bad about myself. He's considered the ramifications. Outstanding work. Ram, hey, I was going through some stuff. Then your eyes closed, Emily, and you realized the exquisite nature with how that bad joke really added a sense of, oh, what's the word? Really was a different tale, I think, than you might have expected. The ram was going through some stuff like you. That's true. All right, we're going to kick the wall, chat. Let's go. You kick the wall. It bows with the blow, mortar crumbling away. It is weakened. For just a moment, you catch the sound of muttering coming from somewhere nearby. Okay. No, as I said, I'm allowed to look or listen, and this I am going to listen. You press your ear to a gap in the mortar. You hear grunting, scratching, and the tearing of flesh. There is a thump as something is thrown against the wall and what might be a bone snapping. Great. Well, we either get to go back and face the ram again? What the heck? Oh, okay. I don't know what to do now, chat. I mean, maybe we'll have an easier time against the whatever this is than the ram? This seems rough. Can we wait here till they all go away? Yes. I wonder how many times, also hi to Proximo, I didn't say hi to before, people who came in, hello. How many times do you think the Analander actually says this, right? Like when you're on the trip out there and you're just like, was it when we were fighting the Manticore or when we were like dealing with Kare with like 6 million things we had to deal with or like 7 freaking serpents plus the whole time travel puzzle? Like, there must have been a point where we were like, you know what? Freaking let the Archmage like rule the world or whatever, you know? Open the ram door, break down the wall. So open the door and let the ram run through. Oh, let the ram run through. Let the ram run through. If we break through and find another stone ram, we're going to feel really sheepish. Yes. Yes. I see what you did there. And they'll want to meet each other, so you obviously have to hoof it, you know. Okay, last call. Bah, humbug. All right, we're going to kick the wall again. You kick again. The weakened wall does not crumble, but you do hurt your foot. Ow. Okay, well, that's no good. So I guess we can charge at the wall? Break through. So, charge at the wall, break through with our sword. Or turn back. Ram on through to the other side. Ram on through to the other side. Do, 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 do. Well, there was Ram on the other side. And something isn't here. This whole place sucks. Manpeg sucks. Break on through to the other side. Ram on through. Hey, welcome in, Flying Enemy. Quitters always win, they say. We may end up having to... I don't know. We're going to have to see. I just can't wait to charge through the wall and land in front of, like, a troll or something. Like, Rama, lama, ding, dong. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba bum, bum. It is a rampage. We should pause and take live stock of the situation. Not bad. I was worried that you were maybe farming the joke a little bit too much, but I'd have to put you out to pasture. But I think in the end, you've proven to be more stable than that. And, you know, you were able to field a good joke. It's plain to see. And, you know, I think now you've, you know, now it's time for you to reap what you've sown and enjoy the fruit of your harvest. The soul coughing one? Is that that's what you're talking about, Drew? It's all or mutton. Nice. That's quality work, Proxima, right there. It's all or mutton. Nice. We need to herd this stream back on track. Keep on milking this for puns, yes. I'll just up it out of here. That's very good. All or mutton is tremendous. What are you muttoning on? All right. We're charging at the wall. You push against the weakened spot on the wall where you kicked and it gives way. The bricks crumble inwards, leaving a choking cloud of dust. A moment later, 2 goblins squeeze through the hole in the wall, knocking you to the ground in their haste. It seems they were bricked up inside the tower. Okay. The sight that meets your eyes is truly foul. The room within the tower is crowded with goblins, both living and dead. It seems they have been trapped here for some time. The walls and floor are slick with gore, layers and layers of it. The goblins themselves do not seem to have yet noticed you. They are too busy rolling this way and that, fighting. Yeesh. That's horrific. That's terrible. Well, we could keep watching, although clearly there's going to come a moment where they're going to see us. Go in or back away. Although obviously it's all magical in the same sense, right? What do we do, chat? Do we keep going, keep watching? That's terrible. Or do we go in or do we back away? I mean, how could they be trapped here? It's got to be some magical thing. Yeah, that's a... Woo! That's terrifying. That is not what I expected either. I thought it was going to be like that they were some, you know, big creature or something out of, you know, Jedi Fallen Order or something is throwing people against walls. Yeah, that... I would be noped all the way out of there. I probably would have been noped all the way out of there at the point that I've been sawed in half practically by a freaking stone ram, but let's go to the ram. Hey, ram! Did you hear what's going on in the tower next to you? Because... once. Last call this. Going twice. Ah, yes. Led there, no doubt, by Montresor Orc, I would assume. I didn't hear any jingling of bells. We did save 2 goblins, yes. Although... we saved 2 goblins, and then what just happened to them now when they walk in the chamber? Like, we're free! And then the ram's like... And they're like... What are you rambling on about? All right, we're going to back away. You back away from the foul-smelling room. It can only be moments until the other goblins noticed you, and more importantly, the broken wall. You hurry away as fast as you can go. But the south tower door is closed, and no amount of kicking and banging makes it open. Well, that's the ram thing. There's no choice but to turn back. Steeling your courage and with your hand at your sword hilt, you step inside the foul-smelling tower. It seems there is no option but to go through. Sorry, chat. We got to go through it. We'll try to go through it as fast as we can. You step into the chamber. The smell is worse than you could have imagined. A few of the goblins look up from their rampant cannibalism to stare at you with slack-jawed expressions. How long have they been stuck here? Okay, so, here are the options that we have available. This time, I'm not going to look unless chat tells me to. We already know what we saw in the room. Attack. Aren't there like 1 million of them? Let me see about casting a spell. I can do that. Okay, good. Alright, so we could cast God. Oh, so to create an illusion of worship. So, because we do have a Jewel of Gold, so that wouldn't cost us any stamina. So I guess we could be like, hi, I'm your god. Sorry about all this, really? So we could cast that. We could cast Gak, which is to cause fear. Because we do have a black face mask. Doesn't cost any stamina again. I don't know if these things are they going to be afraid after they've been in here this long, though? I have no idea, by the way. I'm just thinking out loud. Rock means turn to stone. We do have some stone dust. It'll use that stone dust up, though. We could cast Foth, which is a force field. Oh. Thank you, Configuration Queen. Thank you so much and welcome. As Trippin will tell you, it's been a little... It's been quite an interesting session. And a really good one, actually. Okay. People have come to slave you. I mean, say... Yeah, exactly. Like, what? Okay. We could fireball them. That will certainly... Aren't we in there with them? I don't know that that's the best idea. There's that. Create wind. Oh wait, gotta add some more options. So we do have a gale horn. What are you trying to say, person within fireball range? Exactly. Okay, we did H. Okay, so we've got D and W, I believe. Dud, we could create treasure. Well, create an illusion of treasure. I don't know whether they're going to care about that. But, you know. Wait, did I miss one? No, I did not. Or the other one is... Walk. Create a shield. And 1 gold piece. We have 8 of them, so that's fine. And the last option is to create an invisible wall. Okay, so... Oh, I don't even think that's even all there is there? And the other option is to back away. I missed one. We already tried backing away and it didn't lead anywhere. Okay, so chat, we can look around the room. We can attack. We can cast God, which creates an illusion of worship. We can cast Gak, which causes fear. We can cast Rock, which turns to stone. Creatures, not everything, but presumably some, uses stone dust. We can cast Foth, that creates a force field that'll use 3 stamina, though. We can cast Hot, that creates Fireball, that also uses 3 stamina, though. We can cast Huff, which creates wind. We can cast Dud, which creates the illusion of treasure and costs 1 stamina. We can cast Walk, which creates a shield, which is 1 stamina and 1 gold piece. The good thing about this is you can move with the shield. Whereas if we create an invisible wall, which is the last spell option I think that we have, that's 3 stamina. It's a full wall, but it's only 3 stamina and it has to stay in one place. Or we could back away. So, $sign vote space, 1 to look around the room, 2 to attack, 3 to cast God, 4 to cast Gak, 5 to cast Rock, 6 Foff, 7 Hot, 8 Huff, 9 Dud, 10 Walk, 11 Wall, 12 back away, and a partridge in a pear tree. And I would also ask us to take into account that they've apparently been locked inside this tower with each other for a long time, and so I don't know what that means one way or the other. Yeah, I mean, all we're trying to do is keep them from basically obliterating us until we can get across their tower, their room, you know. Did you all just hear that sound effect? No, it wasn't a cat. No, I think it's an angry goblin. Yeah, no, exactly. But nuke this thing from orbit. Oh, sorry. I'm not... wait a second. I apologize. I'm not showing you all of the thing, am I? 1 second here. Let me fix that. Now I think that's everything. Not quite everything, actually. There's also back away. Since it sounds like no one's really that interested in looking around the room, for which I don't blame you, I guess you can get this way you can see all of the options. Yeah, I'm not redoing this survey. Yeah, I was like, I hear something. I'm like, oh, they just put some goblin noises in, and then it's like, rawr. I was like, the realism. I just added the last option. No, yeah, I didn't just add the last option. It's just that it didn't show. I'm only showing so many. Because I don't want to extend this even... well, I guess I can try to extend it. There we go. Now I got it all on one screen. All right. Here we go, chat. Last call, last call. Going once. Going twice. All right. We are casting Gak. Gak. A, K. Cast Gak. You turn the starlight into alignment around you, pulling the black face mask out of your pack and putting it on your face. Even in their madness, the contained goblins shrink away in terror, clawing over each other to get away from you. With the crazed mob cowed by your spellcasting, you have a moment to act. We're not going to retreat. We're going for the far door, chat. Because we already came from there. That door was locked. You take advantage of the lull to race across the room. The door to the east is closed. The door in the west wall is open. Again, we're going to open that door. Shoot. We have to try key. Okay, all right, okay. Shoot. Well. All right, I'm going to open the simple one. Do we smash the door down or retreat? Okay. Smash the door down or retreat. So $ vote space 1 is smash the door down. $ vote space 2 is retreat. All right. It looks like chat is pretty definitively in favor of trying to... Okay, come on. Smash the door down. And the will of chat. You charge the door with your shoulder and it shudders but does not break. Goblins leap up, clutching your arms and chest in a frenzy. You're brought down, rolling along the stinky floor as more pile on top of you. Pain flares up along your body as the crazed goblins tear into your flesh. Okay. The problem is, I'm going to tell you right now, chat, we're not going to be able to cast a spell because we're down on the ground. So we're not going to be able to get the spell off. So it's a choice between fighting and throwing them some food. What do you want to do? I have a thought about what seems most likely to work here for me, but I'll throw it up for you, folks. $ vote space 1 means we fight, but again, there's 100 of them or whatever, right? $ vote space 2 is throw them some food. We do have rations left. We have a ration left. I like how chat is instantaneously like and all equally like, okay, just do that. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. Okay. I'm not even going to last call this because chat's clearly going along these sides. Okay. So, throw them some food. You toss out some food and the goblins leap on it. You have bought yourself a moment's reprieve, but no more. You change your mind and give up on the far door, racing for the entrance you came in by. Okay. You are back on the walkway between the two towers. A few clouds drift across the sky. From the tower behind you, you hear a sudden gibbering cry. A horde of ravenous goblins pour from the now open door and scatter in all directions. You have not seen a horde like it since the gates of Kare. All right, chat, what do we do? I think we know the answer is not to... I'm guessing that we know that the answer is not... Sorry. Let me move that way. To draw our sword, but I'll give you the option. Draw the sword or to watch them. So, $ vote space 1 is draw my sword. $ vote space 2 is watch them. That place was freaky. Freaky. And it does not exist in, it definitely does not exist in the book. Gotta watch those guys. So $ vote space 1 is draw my sword. $ vote space 2 is watch them. The fact that it says scatter in all directions is what makes me feel a little better. If it was like, you know, because I was like, well, what are we going to do? Because, like, we can't actually, I mean, we can't go back in the other place. We tried. You know? I am the watcher. Yeah. Like, so I was like, if they were headed towards us, I'd be like, well, a little bit of a Fellowship of the Ring film, Aragorn versus the Uruk-hai, like, is what we're looking at. Yeah, I don't know, Triffid. This has been really odd. Thank God we had a provision. Why can't we do both? My question is, if we draw our sword and they catch sight of us, do they just assume that we're a threat and go after us, right? Whereas if we're just watching, they don't even know that we're there. So I also had a worry at one point that they were going to steal our black face mask from us, which was going to suck. So, but it appears, fortunately, that that did not happen. That's the only thing I can imagine, Drew, yeah. That's quite logical, Commander Dunso, yes. All right, going, I think I already last called this, but if I didn't, I will now. Going once. Excuse me. Going twice. All right. We are going to watch them. You stand back and watch as some hurl themselves off the walkway into the water while others scale the tower. None pay any attention to you. A few minutes later, the hue and cry is over and they've all gone, disappearing into the distance across the college. With luck, you will not meet any of them again. But the south tower door is closed and no amount of kicking and banging makes it open. There's no choice but to turn back. The bricked-up door hangs open, now all but broken off its hinges. Inside the tower, only corpses remain. The door to the east is closed, and the door in the west wall is open. No, I don't think this is an... I mean, it might have started as an oops, but I think we actually pulled ourselves out of that pretty well. Like, that could have gone a lot worse. Okay, so now the question is, do we search the goblin corpses and move on? Now, I am sensitive to what Emily just said. $ vote space 1 is search the goblin corpses, 2 is move on. The only thing I will point out to chat is that we also need to get through that door, and we were totally unable to do it last time. Maybe if we cast Dope, we'll be able to if it lets us. But other than that, I don't know how we get through that door without a key. Maybe we just bang it, I don't know, smash it down over time. Because the problem was that we didn't have time to do anything before the horde of goblins was on us. But now all the goblins are gone, so maybe it doesn't matter. That's why I wanted to emphasize that it was corpses, not living goblins still left there. I was like, that's not, you know. Ram it down. See, if we made friends with the ram, you know. That's what I was thinking, Dunsel, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because we didn't have time. If not, we have to use our spells for it, but. All right, last call, last call. Going once. Going twice. Ram, what's up? How you going, mate? Up for a horn of mead? Maybe don't use the horn of mead, right? You up for a horn? The Ram's like, haha. You're just like, sorry. Search the goblin corpses. You rifle a few of the goblin carcasses, but to no avail. These must have been sorry creatures. Normal goblins would rather die than live without a few gold pieces in their pocket. These ones do not even have teeth in their mouths, perhaps as a result of whatever magic conjured them here. Hey, what's up, Prince Justin? I'll use a goat horn. Appreciate that. That's true. That's true. All right, we're going to search the room. I'm using the same logic you all did. You search the corners of the room, finding clumps of hair and scraps of bone, the remains of the endless cycle of goblins that occupied this space, but there are still no teeth. I'm only doing this, chat, because I'm going along with the searching theory. Then at the very bottom of a mess of hair and rags, you find something silver. Gingerly, you reach into the wreckage of bodies and pull upwards a long silver chain from which hangs a small silver key. So we would never have found that. That's the problem. We would never have found that otherwise without getting rid of the goblins somehow. Good to see you, Prince Justin. Woo! All right. Let's try the silver key in the lock of the eastern door. It turns. You cannot help but laugh at the irony. The key was here all the time, but they were too busy eating each other to notice. There is nothing here but death. You cannot leave fast enough. That was grim. You make your way across the walkway between the two towers. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. How would they know? I guess we should have fireballed. Well, yeah, but that wouldn't have done enough to get rid of all of them, though. There's like a hunt. There's like a horde of goblins. You can get up to 50 followers. Oh, absolutely. You should be following Drew already. Drew is has been doing an excellent job at streaming. I have been enjoying watching some of the Chained Echoes streams that Drew has been doing, although I haven't been able to be in all of them. But yeah, very tiny goblins. So sounds good. I will probably be, programming note, I'll be done in 20 minutes. So I'm going to be stopping at 8:30 p.m. So that works well time-wise. All right. All around you sense the powerful aura of starlight washing through this place like icy seawater, and the tower at your back is no more reassuring. Again, basic rule, if I have a chance to look, I can do that. Looking down, you see other paths snaking between towers below, but the drop is not inconsiderable. Okay. Well, let's take a look at where we are. This is really interesting structurally, by the way. Okay, so let's plot this out, Chad, okay? So we came in, we went on the left-hand side. We basically, the whole time has been over here on the left-hand side. We came through here, up through the wall. Then we tried to climb some boxes. Then these guards tried to throw us out. Then we used a spell, floated back up, floated over the wall, came down here. We went through this open field, fought a snake, went up to the tower, lost our god, apparently. Came back this way, went down this way, never went down the city, went all the way to this set of towers. Got into the towers. We went into the crazy, like, stoned tower. Then we went into the, oh my god, it's the ram tower, and, you know, got hit by a ram. Then we went into this tower that we will never speak of again. And now we're here. So you can see for yourselves, I don't know exactly, I'm not sure what the point of this is yet. I don't know whether we're doing this because we're going to get something that will make it possible for us to get in the fortress, or if this is a better way of getting into the fortress. It may well be. You can see there's another set of towers on this side. So I'm not sure yet where we're at as far as that's concerned. But in any case, if we jump down, that's going to be a hell of a drop. So we'll have to think about that. Or we can stay on the walkways up here, where it may be, relatively speaking, safe. Triffid, I just said 8:30 I'm stopping. So 20 more minutes is what I mentioned. So we have two options. You can jump off the walkway or move along the walkway. What do you want to do? $ vote space 1. So $ vote space 1 means jump off the walkway. $ vote space 2 means move along the walkway that you're on. Concrete poisoning is a rough way to die. It's true. Get the last turn this side and get right, exactly, the prince. Thank you, but the princess is not here. Try the other side. I don't know. I'm seriously looking for, I really don't know what it's going to be. This whole tower thing is not, again, in the original book. And I'm sure the ram thing is, and it makes me wonder whether what they did was they just took a lot of the rooms that are in the interior of the very elaborate Crown of Kings gamebook and just sort of externalized them, right? They just pushed them out here. And then it's out here that we're dealing with. I have no idea. The towers on either side, this is a whole different thing. And we never even went into the village or this building. I mean, my goodness. So. Where's my poles at? Ooh, let the poles out. Going once, going twice. All right. And although Chaotix wanted us to leap off the walkway, Chad has decided to continue to move along the walkway. You back away from the railings and consider the towers instead. Okay, we just came from the south door. You approach the tower door. It is well preserved and quite intact. As always, I always look. You inspect, excuse me, the door, but find no hidden latches or secrets. Unlike most of the doors you've seen in the college so far, I feel like this may be a little bit. So I guess they're calling this a college, or something. I don't remember them mentioning that this part of things was the college, but this one is in good condition with few splinters or nicks. A thick layer of dust clings to it. There is the remains of a sign on the wall next to the door, but the only word you can make out is only. The other words have been gouged away with a knife point. So something only. Oh, great. Okay, well, we can do the following options then. I'm going to load one of the handy-dandy spell list. Okay, we could open the door. What's up, Darksteel Sport? Employees only, livestock only, hotties only, adventures only, trespassing adventures only. Only the lonely. Exit only, one way only, bonely only. Oh. Yeah, you all just killed that. I just want to be clear. As Emily said, you just killed that right there. Okay, cast a spell. What we got? Wait. Okay, that is one option. Okay. We could... I'm just going to put these on here in no particular order, chat, because... actually, wait, I shouldn't... No, I'm not going to do it this way. It's not what I'm going to do. This makes much more sense. To see whether any of my currently existing things actually work. So, W, D, or Z. Is there a Z? There is a Z. Okay, so there is Zap. There is no W, though, so we can get rid of that. So... So sus is sense danger. 1 stamina. Sap is the whole cause depression thing. Yeah. Only fans for ramps. Whoa, no, whoa, 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 whoa. I did not say 814. I said 14. Woo! Thank goodness your bot didn't blow up, Effect Life. I don't know what the heck just happened there. Red Sox fans only. Yep. Get behind that. Fortunately, not 814 different options. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these D. Oh. Whoops. Oh. Yep, they have the dope. They do have the dope, but they do not have doze or dumb. I'm going to move this up here just so I don't forget what I'm doing. Okay. So, let's see. There's the... and there's that. Okay, how about H? Hal finds safe passage. Yep. Also 1 stamina. No. resurrect the dead. We did that back at the chasm, and they gave us holy water, but like, it uses up holy water. Okay, so not that one. Talk all languages. We do have a green-haired wig, so that's not a problem. Oh, that would allow us to actually decode what's on the door, maybe? I guess. D. Alright, so I've got all my S's, I've got my D's, I've got my Z's, H's. Oh, and one more, which is F. Ah, we can see the future. We do have a crystal ball. So that would be interesting, actually. Or leave the door alone, which means we've got to either jump off the walkway or go back. All right, chat. So, there we go. Yeah, no, that's true, Emily. Oh my God, can you imagine? I hadn't even thought about that. That would be really awful. Okay. $ vote space 1 is open the door. $ vote space 2 is listen at it. $ vote space 3 is cast sus. $ vote space 4, which is sense danger. 4 is sap, that's depression, 1 stamina. I don't know who we're causing depression for. Zap, create lightning, 3 stamina. That's a lot, given that we've only got 15 stamina now. Dope is open locks and doors. That's 1 stamina. We don't even know if it's, like, closed yet. If it's locked, rather. How is find safe passage. That's 1 stamina. Res is resurrect the dead. That requires holy water, and we've only got one vial of that left. So, cast rap is talk all languages. That's $ vote space 9. 10 is cast far, see the future. That doesn't use up the crystal ball. That just uses the crystal ball that we have. And then leave the door alone is number 11. That's what we got. So go ahead and get your votes in now. Geez, can you imagine if you fired that spell in the wrong direction, Emily? Ugh. Not pleasant. Oh, and once again, I'm making the mistake of not showing you the whole thing. Not on purpose, my apologies. There we go. And the good news is we won't have to do this poll every single time, so... In fact, when I'm done with this, I'll probably clear just the votes, and I'll save something like... Tower door spell list or something. Open the door. Last call, last call. Yeah, are you out? Are you out for work there, Prince Justin? Ah, back in Oakney. Well, I'm glad. I hope that it's not been too. I hope it's been reasonably, okay. It hasn't been super unpleasant, and yeah, and I hope it's good to have you with us as always, of course. Okay, going once, going twice. All right, we're going to listen at the door. You press your ear to the door, but hear nothing. All right, I'm going to look under the door since it's given as an option. You lie on your stomach, receiving a thorough coating of dust. Peering through the gap in the door, you spy the legs of a chair and what appears to be a small table placed next to it. You see nothing else, no feet or other furniture. The room appears quite small. Okay. So, given that that's the case, then what I'm going to do is just going to shift that up there. And we're going to shift that to there. And we're going to drop our options to 10. All right, chat, there we go. So, do we open the door? Do we cast a spell, or do we leave it alone? And you can see the spells there yourself. Open the door is 1. Far, see the future is 2. Sus, sense danger is 3. Sap, cause depression is 4. Zap, create lightning is 5. 6, open locks and doors is dope. 7 is cast Howl, find safe passage. 8, cast resurrect dead. 9, cast rap, talk in all languages. And 10 is leave the door alone. And this, it'll probably be either this vote or the next vote in the next room where we will close down shop for the night, chat, so I can get dinner and then get back to work on catching up for having been part of a lost weekend. But this has been very nice tonight, actually. This has really been great. So, thank you all. You could change if you want, Hillness. $ change vote, space, and then the number. You can feel free to do that. Six to 1. Well, you could be listed on the record. Almost, Dragon. Not quite, but almost. All right. We're opening the door. You grasp the cool handle and push open the door. Nothing jumps out. I don't understand why they keep... Okay. So... Okay. So, I guess that means then... Oh, I messed that up, actually. Sorry. Okay. Put that there. Oh, it doesn't even give you that option. Oh, I was wrong, actually. So we're looking at close the door. Enter. Or cast one of the previously 6 quadrillion mentioned spells. Okay. What's it going to be, chat? $ vote space 1. Cool handle. What can we guess from that? Yeah, I know. How do we... I assume that you want to enter. I just always think it's a little... Then when they're kind of like, all right. So you see the door in front of you. Like, I step forward. All right. So you hear the hinges squeaking, and you're like... But they may be doing that on purpose. Cast depression. I mean... After that last room... I'm going to last call this quickly because I think people are in general agreement that they want to enter. Change your vote to close the door. I have zero idea. This again, different deal here. All right, going once, going twice. Okay. So we will enter. You step through the doorway, only to find yourself back outside, the door closed once more. And then you look, squint at the door and ask if it knows anything about copyright protections from a novel called Greyshade. I think I've seen that before. I think Emily's seen it before. I think anyone who's read my novel has before. Okay, that's interesting. So, guess we got to ask that again. Do we open the door? Kick the door? Cast a spell, which I hope to God is the same exact number of spells and not some other random spells now? Or do we leave the door alone? Yeah, that's right. Exactly, Emily. Exactly. Okay. Actually, and you know, while you're looking at this, I'm going to double check quickly because I want to make sure that we're not missing a clue. Okay. There was that message. Third spe that... Right, but these are the Throban doors. I don't think we're there yet. So never mind. The central tower of the Archmage is guarded by the fearsome Throban doors. And these are not the Throban doors, so that's why I was curious. Yeah, this is something. Yeah, that how is not a bad call, actually. Because maybe that gives us an idea of, like, safe passage. Is there something you're hoping to find, Arudnell, by resurrecting dead around here? Like, the last 4 choices, you're like, I'd like to resurrect dead, please. I would like to resurrect the dead, please. Now, admittedly... It helped that time in the chasm. It did help that time, but... You want to resurrect the dead who are just like, don't... Yeah, I'm just curious. The dead are going to be like, don't try to enter this door. Like that's probably what they'll say. Resurrect that scratch sign on the door. That's a good call, Spork, actually, yeah. If only it could work that way. They don't have a mending spell as an option. While you're all continuing your votes, I just want to double check and make sure that I did not miss a spell. Res, Rap, S, Sap, or Sus. Yeah, it's the same set. Oh! Okay, I missed one. I is sorry, chat. I apologize. I missed one. I missed one. So what we will do is I'm going to close this poll. And I will add one because there was one that we missed. My apologies. They have added now Zip, which is the teleportation spell. And that does not cost us any stamina because we have a green ring. We use that to escape the goat, the hoof creatures that got pissed off at us when we were on the way into the fortress. And maybe that teleports us past the doors. You know? Or leave the door alone. Sorry. Try that again. I apologize. No, it does not use up the ring. No. No. We used that ring. We used it, as I say, against the hoof creatures, and it didn't have any effect on that either way. So go ahead and cast your votes, but just know that there's an additional cast zip in there, which is number 11, $ vote space 11, which could theoretically maybe let us teleport into that room. I don't know. But I didn't realize it was even there until just now, so. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Arudno. That zip thing is obviously a total guess on my part. It may also not work. I just hadn't... It was not available in the initial set of spells, and now it is available here, so... So please get your votes in, chat. My apologies for making you vote a second time for no reason. There you go. You can now see everything. You can see all. You can see clearly now. The spells are there. I can see all stamina in my way. All right, last call, last call. Thank you tonight, by the way, chat, not only for excellent turnout, but also just for and being amazing people, of course, but for this quick pace of the votes. That has really helped. It has not been like pulling teeth to get people to vote, so that has been cool. All right. I'm going to try casting Zip. Let's dance, Zip. I saw this once when Nightcrawler did it. You weave the spell Trusting to Luck as the ring of green metal on your finger begins to gleam like a serpent's eye. You close your eyes as your body is wrenched away. You appear on the other side of the door. Hell yeah! We made it! For such a heavily defended chamber, there is little magnificence here. The room inside is bare, but for a worn-out chair and a small writing table. On the table is an hourglass and a slate. There are 2 doors leading east and west, both closed. All right. I am going to look at the slate, because, again, I look at stuff unless it's, you know. The slate is full of chalk markings, small regular ticks that run in a line. You do not see any chalk around. I'm going to leave it alone for the moment, chat, because we can come back to it. You put the slate down once more. On the desk, the sand runs through the hourglass. When did it get turned over? Oh, wild. Okay, that's interesting. That's wild. All right, well, it's time to bring chat into the equation. This will be the final vote, I think, or the final room, definitely, of the night. Search the room, chat. Sit on the chair. Look at the slate again. The last time we did, apparently, something happened with the time. Turn the hourglass. Or leave. What should we do? Search the room, sit on the chair, look at the slate again, turn the hourglass, or leave. $ vote 1 is search the room, 2 is sit in the chair, 3 is look at the slate again, 4 is turn the hourglass, or 5 is leave. Yes, I was just thinking it's all a bit timey-wimey. I'm waiting for the sonic screwdriver to be available to us underneath the slate. People want to sit on the chair here. Look at all these towers. Crazy. And we've been so far through, what, 1, 2, 3, and we're in the 4th tower. All right, chat. Last call. Last call. Search the room. Sit in the chair. Look at the slate again. Turn the hourglass again. Going once. Going twice. And we will close and sit on the chair. You sit in the chair. It's rather comfortable and in very good shape. It's giving me the same options again. Whoops. Same vote. Search the room, sit in the chair, look at the slate again, turn the hourglass, or leave. So we've looked at the slate, looked back, and then the sand was going through the hourglass. We have sat on the chair, and that's pretty much all. We have not yet searched the room. We have not yet turned the hourglass, and of course, we have not yet left. Okay, last call, last call, last call. Going once. Going twice. All right, we're going to look at the slate again. Slate is full of chalk markings. So, now, chat, I guess the question is... Simple two-part vote. Do we rub out the markings? That's $ vote space 1. Or do we leave it alone? That's $ vote space 2. Rub out the markings is $ vote space 1. Leave it alone is $ vote space 2. Before, we looked at it, but we did not. We left. So, first time, we looked at it, but we left it alone. We did not rub out the markings. This is very timey-wimey. We are not going to lick it, Dragon Spear. All right. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Time to rub out the markings. You rub out the chalk markings, leaving the slate blank. The hourglass finishes running. Okay. The hourglass finishes running. So now, do we search the room, sit on the chair, look at the slate again, turn the hourglass, or leave? Odd. This feels a little bit, there's a bit of Phantom Tollbooth about this room to me. If any of you know that spectacular story from the recently, sadly departed Norman Juster. If anyone ever remembers, Milo has to at one point deal with the terrible Trivium, which is this horrible demon that basically comes up with all these like incredibly trivial tasks. I actually directed a kids' theater production of Phantom Tollbooth way back in the day. Gosh, that was almost just 28 years ago now. Good grief. 27 and a half years ago. What's that from? What's what from? Phantom Tollbooth? The book, The Phantom Tollbooth. Haven't we talked about this, Dragon? Didn't you read The Phantom Tollbooth? That would have been something right up your, you and your father's alley, I think. I've read it to, I have to double check. I don't think I read it to my son yet, but I did read it to my daughter, who, of course, loved it because it's great. You don't look older than 32. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. All right. Oh, Dragon Spear. Highly recommend The Phantom Tollbooth. Any of you, in fact, who have not read The Phantom Tollbooth, I highly recommend. Yes, it is a kid's book. It is delightfully clever. It is extremely thoughtful. At times, it's very powerful, too. It is endlessly inventive. If you like Terry Pratchett at all, you need to read The Phantom Tollbooth. It is... It's satirical in the right moments. It's funny. It can be sad and poignant in its own way, but it's a wonderful message. And the overall book is this sort of you just feel good after reading it, and it's not a slog to read through. Absolutely amazing. Jumping to conclusions, exactly, Dr. Poopy's like it's great stuff. And of course, the din. Yeah, highly recommend The Phantom Tollbooth. Again, if at any age, as I say, it is for children, but at any age you will enjoy it. And it's the kind of thing that is, I think, very wise, even for a book, even for adults. I think it's very wise. Yeah, it's so good. Yep. You should consider it an honor, Emily. Absolutely. Your readers overlapping with Terry Pratchett's is a high compliment. Okay, turn the hourglass, all right? We're going to do that. You pick up the hourglass, examining it in the light of the door. It is a well-made instrument with brass fittings and fine sand within. I'm going to turn it over. That's what Chad asked me to do. You turn over the hourglass and watch the sand run down for a time. Time, intones the hourglass. I'm going to save this set of questions as timey-wimey room. So we can say, who's there? Look at the hourglass. Or put the glass down. Oh, you would like, I think you might like it too, Runella. It'd be interesting. It's a good place to stop. It's true. We'll make this our last vote. You're right. I could have stopped there. I got on a roll, I guess, Dunsel. But you're right. Say, who's your daddy? It's actually Christopher Lee who says it. Time. What time do you think we have? He cannot yet assume physical form, but his spirit has lost none of its potency. The Lord of Mordor sees all. Lidless, wreathed with flame. What does your daddy do? Oh, yeah. Well, you know he was a huge Tolkien, fanatic, Hilness, right? I think he said he read The Lord of the Rings every year. Christopher Lee had a hell of a career, man. You know of what I speak. And then later on, when they're like, the dwarves delve too greedily and too deep. And if you cannot pass through the mountains, where then will you go? You have elected the way of pain. I understand you can cast anybody to do things, right? But it's hard after the fact to imagine anyone else like playing that role, which is why. And I did say this, and I love those films. Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite movie, and the 3 films as a whole are great. But the biggest missteps were clearly taken in Two Towers. Several, and I've gone through this before, and I won't do it now. But the only thing I'll mention is about it is one of those missteps is the fate of Saruman. No, like that's the problem. Count Dooku, Dooku. Author of Bond books, wanted lead to star as Bond in the movies. Wait, no, are you saying Christopher Lee's cousin is Ian Fleming? Flying enemy. That's not true. Is that true? That Ian Fleming is his cousin? I didn't know that. Is that true? Really? I did not know. I mean, I knew that, Christopher Lee was like himself, he was British intelligence at one point. I didn't know that. Well, no, Fleming was connected. I knew that. For sure, I knew that. But I didn't know that Lee was cousins with Fleming. I did not realize that. Yeah, Helness, exactly. Theoden is the whole sequence where he's leaving aside that he's sort of, in the book, it's not an exorcism the way they make it seem in the movie, but leaving it aside, that whole sequence is amazing, including the sequence with Wormtongue, and that's actually pulled from the appendices, saying to Eowyn about who knows what you've seen in the bitter watches of the night when all your life seems to shrink. And Brad Dourif is just freaking on fire, that entire monologue. That whole sequence up to and including when Theoden is freed is amazing. Then Theoden after that, the whole thing goes a little weird. Because like in the book, Gandalf is actually recommends to them they go to Helm's Deep. In the movie, it's like, they're like, oh, we got to go to Helm's Deep. And Gandalf's like, no. And Theoden's like, shut up. Gondor never helped us. So whatever. It was all a little up in the air to me. They did recover their way. And by the time they get to Return of the King, they're back on track. But step cousins. Okay. Oh, okay. Lee's mother married Harcourt George St. Croix Rose, a banker and Uncle Ian Fleming. Okay. It's true. Thank you for the cheer, Dragon Spear. Sing it to me. All right, we last call. Let's get this last vote, chat. Let's break this tie, shall we? Break this tie. We got 4 for Who's There, 4 for Look at the Hourglass. Let's get this tie. Still, though, I never knew. Yeah, but thank you for looking up, though. I never knew that. That's awesome. Twice. And Harcourt Fenton Mudd. Ah, yes. The Mudd episodes in Star Trek never really got me crazy. I was always like, I like Harcourt. I feel like Harry Mudd was a character in search of a plot. Like, I felt like he always showed up, and I'm like, oh, he's kind of a funny, oafish, pirate-like character. But then the stuff they used him for was always like, Harcourt George St. Croix Rose. It's true. Okay, Who's There? Who's There, you call out, but there is no reply. Okay. So we're going to save this for next time because as I promised, I want to make this the last one. So we're going to clear all. Where's Rachel? Tell me what this hourglass is. Look at the hourglass. Or put the glass down. And we will save that. And somebody please, who's playing now, somebody please remind me. I'm letting all of you in chat know this now. Please do remind me next time that we were going to start. It'll automatically start us at this spot, but that we have questions already set up for this. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Right. We were on over. Hi, I'm Emily. Say that. Okay. Good stuff. Very good stuff, everyone. So we end the day, to be clear. We end the day with one fewer stamina point than we began, and with one fewer ration than we began. Same amount of gold. And we began the day here, and we ended up here. We had some pretty wild rooms. Stone rams, rooms we're not going to talk. Well, first of all, the mold village, then the stone ram, the tower we're not going to talk about, and then this timey-wimey room. So very interesting stuff as we made our way through this mix. Okay. Good stuff, everybody. And there is one more poll that we do have to conduct. And for that, no, I want that up there. We're going to go over here and pull open this. All right. And that is the chat chosen game of the month. So, which we're going to be playing in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Whoa. Please open the questions tool. Hold on. I got to follow Effect Life here. Right. Okay, I'm going to follow directions here. So, open the questions tool, show it on screen. Hang on a second. Arv bot plus. Okay, so there's that. And then use question your nomination to nominate a game. Okay, I haven't. So let's see. Oh, all right. So, question Songs of Conquest. A HOM 3 and other 90s game inspired turn based strategy game. Initially released May 2022. Haven't seen any gameplay yet, only the store page on GOG. Very positive on Steam. Well. So that's how you nominate the game, huh? All right. So I'm going to put that in there then onto poll. So we've got, let me put this over here so I can see. Okay, so Songs of Conquest. I think Pyre and Jade try that game if I'm not mistaken. Songs of Conquest is one. Okay. So go ahead and nominate, what more can I ask? Go ahead and nominate chat for a game that you'd like me to try. And one per person, please. I reserve the right to veto a game that I may not appreciate, but do it the way that Effect Life just did, and we can see it all there together. And I guess I can remove it once it's up there, right? Right, Effect Life? Roundabout. Ah, yes, a bizarre FMV game about a limo driver with a twist. It worked. I'll be the roundabout. Okay. Wait, I missed something with Mrs. Dunsel. The building full of cats. Okay, I'm gonna remove some of these so I don't get confused. I got those two. Star Control 2, all right. I got that one. I will remove that. Mrs. Dunsel, I don't know what the building full of cats is. I think that may have not gone through quite as intended. Unless there's a game called just The Building Full of Cats. Also, this should demonstrate once again how awesome. This is originally, I think this was designed for interviews that I do. And I still do interviews on occasion. So this is useful for something like that so the chat can get questions in when we get to that eventuality. What remains of Edith Finch? Probably fine. No jump scares in that, right, Drew? The name of the game is literally the building full of cats. Um, a hidden object game where you need to pet all the cats in the building. Don't leave any cat behind. I see. All right. Okay, building full of cats. What remains of Edith Finch? Dwarf Fortress, huh? All right. I have never played it. I've just heard the stories. Right, CQ. Feeding the stray cat over and over again, which, as we learned, did nothing. Absolutely nothing. That did absolutely nothing. Maybe not my type of game. Depends. We may be getting a cat. I don't necessarily mind cat. Have I tried Slipways? I have not. Although I'd have to, Epistory Typing Chronicles. This is not, Epistory Typing Chronicles. This is not, though, Geester, the one that I did. This isn't the Typo Man universe, right? Which I was did not particularly care for. That's not true. I fed this. I almost bankrupted ourselves to feed this cat. All right. Washington Metropolitan Gamer Symphony Orchestra perform music from Dwarf Fortress. That's funny. Yes, I have thought about that. I did think about that. I heard that What Remains of Edith Finch is very powerful. Yes. But Geeser, it's not the same. I think I've heard of Typing Chronicles, but it's not the same, right? As the, am I right about the It's not the same, right? As the Typo Man universe thing. And I guess that is true. I have to think a little bit about. I've never played What Remains of Edith Finch. I already have it, I think. It's the narrative one. Typer Shark? Wait a minute. I gotta look these up. Hungry sharks and piranhas are on the hunt for food as you scuba dive into the deep black unknown. Or deep blue unknown, sorry. Oh, I remember this. Oh my goodness. It's on GOG? Okay. All right, let me check that's so funny. Yep. Oh, an atmospheric adventure typing game that tells the story of a writer lacking inspiration who asks her muse to help write her latest book. Okay, yes. I've heard of this. Okay, no, that's completely not the Typo Man world. That's fine. All good. Okay, that is good. I think that is enough nominations, chat. All right, your final vote of the evening. Your final vote of the evening is the vote here. So the top 3 vote getters will be in the final vote. Songs of Conquest, Roundabout, Star Control 2, What Remains of Edith Finch, The Building Full of Cats, Dwarf Fortress, Epistory, Typing Chronicles, and Typer Shark. I'm not 100% sure about What Remains of Edith Finch. Not because I just have to, but you should still vote if you want to for it, because we can always, do the research on it. So that's all good. No, because there are more people in here than put up nominations, though. So it'll be good. What's up, Optic? top 3 vote getters are going to go into the final vote, and I'm hoping that afterwards, if one of my amazing mods would be so kind as to till Dragon gets involved, yeah, would be so kind as to put together a the straw poll, the next game straw poll for this once we get those final 3. And I really do want to get us down to 3. Heard good things about Star Control 2. Never played it. It's true. It's true. You want to watch Dwarf Fortress? You bought it, you just lost. Yeah, I heard it's very complicated. So, yeah. What I might do for this, actually, is I might take the... I want to get us down to 3. So if we end up with votes where we have like the top 4, I may just run another one and then the top 3 vote getters get in. All right, I'm going to last call this chat. I see. I see. Listen, if they all tie, Star Control forges ahead. What I will do is I'm going to take the top 2 vote getters as well if I have to. Because I'm not going to drop the bottom group and, you know. Okay. Going once. Going twice. It's not inconclusive to me. As of right now, we have 2 that have reached the final vote. So get your votes in now, chat. And all right. 2 games this time, not 3. 2 games. So, Star Control 2 or The Building Full of Cats. That is a very different, that is a very open choice. That is a very broad, although you know what? Can't spell Star Control 2 without cats. Yeah. So, it was not supposed to be the final. Well, it made it. It's in the final list. It is up against those. So that's going to be our final vote. Star Control 2 and The Building Full of Cats. So if one of my mods would be, and it doesn't have to be you, Trivia Reading, but if one of my mods, if Dragon or Rudnell, if you're there, I think you're there, I believe, or Drew, or potentially Emily or Hillness around, or Justin, well, Hillness is, I think Prince Justin's on a phone right now in a hotel, but if Star Control, exactly. So those are the 2, Star Control 2 and The Building Full of Cats. The winners are, oops, sorry, Star Control 2. Okay. There you go. Star Control 2 and The Building Full of Cats. My God, it's full of cats. Awesome. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for me. A very enjoyable session today. We did get a chance to stream and do our sort of regular stream, although a little bit later than originally planned. But I'm going to go get dinner and do all that kind of good stuff. We are going to do a raid, though, because we had a good turnout tonight. It's not super late. And in fact, I see exactly who we're going to raid. So nobody bail out on me yet, because I see a good person to be doing the raid, to raid the channel. So no one go anywhere yet. If you like what you saw and heard today, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord with !ArvCord, Twitter with !ArvTweets, website arvaneleron.com, financially !ArvShop for the merchandise area. Triffid and I are trying to rework that now. !ArvTrayon is the Patreon. Thank you so much, Triffid, for the work on the poll as well. Sounds good. Sleep well, Effect Life. Thank you. Everyone give Effect Life some serious love for Arvbot. Thank you for Arvbot Plus, Effect Life. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, thanks, Feck Life. I appreciate that. So, yes, and then on the, obviously, the Patreon, !ArvTrayon sitting right there, which really does make a big difference. Financial backbone of the channel. And both that and subbing to the channel really helps, as you all know, because of the incredible hype train you did today, as we got another 20 subs. Thanks to everyone who gifted subs today, who resubbed themselves, who cheered bits. For example, Dragon did that. Anyone who did any of that, thank you all so much, because I really do appreciate that support. And that obviously is also something which helps with inspirations for the players and all that kind of stuff. So that is the deal with that. On the publishing side, Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts, Library, Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, that's my 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment, and Help Now, which is the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. I literally just skipped over because I was looking at the wrong note on this, and I was just like jumped over. Sorry. And Gray Shade. I'll get to Help Now. That's totally my fault, Rudnell. My brain fart. Gray Shade is what I meant to say, which is Gray Shade, which is the novel that I wrote, came out last year. Sequel to which is Renegade, that'll be out later this year. Heretic, the final book in that trilogy, is out next year. Exactly, that's how I felt. That'll be out next year. And the tabletop role-playing game of Gray Shade later this year, and the audiobook of Gray Shade later this year. All of that stuff with Gray Shade. Now, last but certainly not least, we can talk about those things. First of all, BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. And then Help Now, World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the fine people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. And we send the message that we will stand not only with them, but with others who run into this in the future. Now, if you liked what you saw today, may I also recommend you stop by on Friday, because Friday we have got Into the Unknown. D&D Into the Unknown is going to be back, and I am excited to be able to do more of this D&D with viewers Into the Unknown. So if you like what we were doing tonight, you're going to get more of that sort of thing, but with direct D&D coming up on Friday night, and then on Saturday, more Eberron, Oracle of War coming up as well. As I say, raid is very simple. When you are brought over automagically, you can type one of these. Either, if you're not a sub, the Arvanauts have landed, followed by Twitch raid, lowercase twitch, uppercase R, lowercase AID. And if you are a sub, this one, which is the Arvanauts have landed, and then Arvany Roar, and then a bunch of Arvan emotes. Arvany Hype, Arvany Witch, Arvany What, Arvany Smug, Arvany Love, Arvany Blown, all the Arvanys that your little heart desires when you are brought over automagically, as is going to happen after the video that we play here in just a little bit. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Arudnell, to Chaotix, to Dragonspear, to Emily to the Invincible. Thank you to Hillness, to Prince Justin, to Triffity Mats, and thank you to all as well of my Patreon supporters and subscribers and the gifters within this group. Thank you to Arudnell, to Chaotix, to Dragonspear, to Emily, to Hillness, to Prince Justin, to Triffid. Thank you to Echo. Thank you to Effect Life, to Tilted Gaming. Thank you to Wispy Song. What's up, Wispy? Thank you to Commander Dunsel, to Configuration Queen, to Geester, to Lotwook, to Mrs. Dunsel, to Optic Nerve. Lotwook, I will send a message in a little while after I have a chance to get through everything. And thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Darksteel Spork, Dr. Poopies. Thank you to Gamers and Streamers. Thank you to Elizabeth, Jagtris. Thank you to Jody Moon. Thank you to Spinster. Thank you to Tonica, to Wenchkin as always, and Yomikkel. Thanks everyone for being here and being awesome. And I now am going to rise up on out of here just as soon as the raid is done. So stick around for that. Otherwise, more sorcery to come later in the month. And until then, as always, everybody, thank you again for being so kind tonight and also for reaching out to me. Feels good to be all back with you and to be back with all of you. And I will catch you folks coming soon. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other. And have a good night. Honk.